What does your character have no patience for?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I've had no patience lately because I have to go back to work tomorrow, so that was on my mind.
Gallus has no patience for. He would try very hard never to do this, but he has no patience for seeing other people take advantage of other people. He would get very irritated and angry about something like that.
Oh. Roulette has no patience for people who won't try something at least once.
Nice. That's a good one. Also, Tim, thank you. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got ours too. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you what we rolled.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you guys what I rolled.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 too.
We both rolled a 1, and I went and I read the card from last year, and it was great again.
Dang, you didn't get a new holiday message.
I guess I can say what I rolled because no one other than Tim, and Tim might not even remember, but I rolled a 2 and then a 4.
Oh, does Tuesday roll again?
Hold on.
I think I have different rules for you guys than you guys do.
Oh,
they're all different.
Oh, I didn't know they were all different.
2 and a 4. Hold on. If I think hard enough, I could remember.
Trigger that mind palace. Photographic memory.
I know the last name for sure.
Do you? That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, I think I know it. I think I got it.
Nice.
I think that one thing that would very much annoy Telperion are people like who just like live by taking and not giving back to a community. Because it's very elvish, like his elvish, like the Mooncrest elves. That's very against how they live.
Love it.
Love
Do
it.
we hear Toby's?
I can think of something that Toby will have no patience for, but I don't know if he's experienced it yet. So, like, I think he's still very go with the flow, and I don't know that he would have an answer to that yet.
Okay. That's fair.
Jiri, kind of similar to Toby, but I guess it would be like
Step
mainly
louder as I
material
try.
stuff for him. Like
What'd you
his
say?
Tavi.
Oh, gotcha.
What? Oh,
Sorry. Yeah,
like
I was getting audio when you were talking, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, like people like messing up his Tavi or like maybe his hair, you know what I mean? Like very focused on like his appearance, I guess.
A lot goes into his presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Right over here. Actually, I want my pillow. I can write in my lap. I'm leaving as soon right after I said ready. We have 2 pillows.
Okay. Do we want to get into stuff?
Let us get into it.
All right. In that vein, we'll kick off with this. So, you all deliberated yesterday with Gallus, Rhea, and the 2 remaining matriarchs about next steps for For's Hollow, specifically how to protect the population in face of possible Durasstian invasion. As determined yesterday, the evacuation of For's Hollow could take as little as a couple days to escort citizens in groups roughly a day's travel southeastward toward the abandoned Sun Elf ruins you all discovered over a week ago. However, it was also clear there were other tasks and priorities to take care of as well. For example, the Glass Guard assignments that arrived from Austenis and several of the Nora soldiers hoped to train together in town for a few days before leaving. Food and living supplies for the approaching winter needed to be gathered, planned, organized, loaded onto carts for transport to the ruins. Some of Jokel's stores of weapons at his smithy needed to be tempered, honed, distributed amongst the populace to those who can wield them. And you all may have things to accomplish on your list before you journey southward as well, not necessarily to the ruins yourselves, but through the Emerald Forest into Chimeras, to seek connections there and beseech any powerful figures willing to hear you out for aid in liberating Creatia from expanding Durastian control. And so we pick back up on the morning of Middas, 4th of Frostfall. As you all wake and rise this morning, ready to take on the next several days of evacuation and prep in Force Hollow, I want to dig into how all of you are planning to spend the next several days ahead of you. And this is probably unnecessary to say, but I'd like to ask that everyone please stay patient and as engaged as possible during each other's goals, even if you're not directly involved. And with that, I'd like to start with our Elven party member, Telperion. Generally, how are you planning to spend the next several days here in town?
I am very, should I say in my accent?
You can do however you like.
All right. He's thinking at night to himself, I'm very excited to be in Force Hollow, specifically so I can leave Force Hollow and spend more time at the Alealor ruins and get to also know the wood elf in town, who is going to kind of be not my protege exactly, but she is going to be the one who I'm like introducing to these elvish ruins, and she's going to be like one of the main links between the ruins and the people here. So I want to get to investigate more, get to know her better, and then one of the things I'm very interested in doing, especially since I've given up my elvish sword and I have all I have left are my slivers and my new psionic powers, I want to practice in the ruins when I have some time alone while I'll stay a couple nights there. I want to practice throwing them and then trying to pull them back more efficiently than I've been able to do with my mind before, because it currently takes an action to move an item of that size and weight. Right. So I'm trying to get better at using these because I know that, anyway, that's that. And then if I have any time, I'll try to make a potion of healing.
Perfect. Yeah, so you spend several days working with Rhea and other Noras helping escort caravans to the ruins, chunks of people each day, but you do spend additional time with Rebecca, the only other full-blooded elf at Force Hollow, the wood elf, and you make sure she's familiar with the sensation of the ancient protective mythal magic that dissuades non-elves from the ruins location, so she can, in the future, more competently navigate that barrier and give aid to the townspeople. During the couple times you're at the ruins over the next few days, journeying back and forth from town, you meditate a couple times, trying to make that connection that you had in the past, like you made in that first adventure here. However, you do periodically encounter some minor disappointment and even maybe frustration as your visions seem to hold less interest than that previous time. You are still occasionally, although briefly, able to view glimpses of the history in those elven walls, but the ruins seem desolate, abandoned, almost as they do now, though far less weathered and damaged. Please make a history check for me as you're meditating and contemplating Sun Elven culture, trying to connect to the past.
I warmed up this die, and I rolled like 2 11s in a row, and I just rolled another 11. 15 total.
Okay, so one bit of information that kind of comes to your brain as you're meditating in some frustration, as you're not able to often get much more connection than just like abandoned ruins, even if it looks prettier than the current state of it. The bit of information that kind of filters in your brain is that the first night you meditated there actually was the 22nd of Hearthfire, which happened to be the fall equinox. So you kind of gather that seasonal event that is directly relevant to the sun's seasonal position in the sky relative to your world, maybe that event had some relevance to Corellin Lorethian or the Seldrin Pantheon in general. and may have had to do with the activation of whatever that large stone apparatus of arches was in the temple atrium that is now inert.
Maybe that's how Jiri got cursed.
It's my fault after all.
Although on your final night there, on the night of the 4th day, go ahead and make a perception check during your meditation.
14.
Okay. Similarly to your expectations, you're once again finding a desolate, abandoned environment around you, although for the first time all week, you see a solitary robed figure off toward one of the walls. All the other people that you've escorted here are all gone. As you've entered this trance, you're no longer seeing the present, but you're reaching into the past in some regard, and all you see is this translucent, ghostly figure of some robed elven figure off at a wall.
I walk towards them and say, hello.
Make a moment.
They do not. Yes, nice. They do not respond to you or acknowledge your existence at all, but you notice they're doing something. They're holding their arm to the wall with some kind of writing utensil, inscribing or painting something. And as you look to the wall, once again, a frustration comes across you as when you've seen the past like kind of illuminate these walls, once covered with Seldarin iconography and stuff on every wall in this place. You're seeing color, but it's hard to make out detail, but they're clearly painting something. I'll give you one more perception check or investigation if you wish to try and hone your focus to see what they're working on.
I very much wish to use investigation. 16 investigation.
16 is enough to get a sense of what's happening. The peripherals of this space still seem to be blurry, although there's clearly some kind of colorful iconography having been painted and inscribed into all the walls. You focus your vision trying to get more detailed account of right in front of you where this elven figure is painting. And you see what they're painting. They have just finished painting an elven figure, a woman with bright white hair with a streak of black, and she's wielding 2 large swords. For some reason, something about this image seems familiar, but you can't quite place what that is. But that is the most interesting bit of trance meditation you get over those couple days.
So it's streak of black and gray hair.
Mostly bright white hair with a
white
streak of black.
Okay.
Holding 2 swords at her sides.
Okay.
Then, as over that same course of days, during the days when you're not meditating or escorting people with Rebecca's help and talking with her, you're working on your sliver training. Go ahead and make an attack roll as you're aiming for a nearby tree as you're training and doing your forms.
15. Very middle.
Okay, so certainly good enough to hit the tree target you were practicing on, but definitely frustration building in you that if you miss a tree or your quarry, you could lose your weapon given to you, these slivers given to you as part of your Crescent Knight training. You're remembering from the forums of the ancient Crescent Knight battle scrolls that the warriors once wielded these boomerangs with telekinetics so natural to them that they would pull their weapons back instinctually to them after a throw. So you practice each day, throwing them at small wildlife or trees, not only honing your muscle memory, but also working on, as you suggested, trying to pull them back to you more quickly. You are able to do so with the typical Kair or other minor telekinetics at your disposal, but still at slow speeds. Make an intelligence check for me as you're trying to focus your control over your telekinetics.
Yes. 14.
You take 1 point of psychic damage as you're trying to push past your limits, and it's frustrating and you're getting impatient slowly over the course of these couple days, and you lose 1 psionic dice
For the day.
For that day, yes.
Forever.
If you're interested,
Tim and I did the same.
if you're interested, make one more intelligence check, or you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want, you can try again.
Hyperion is very stubborn on this. 5, 7 total. Fucking rolls.
Okay. Once again, you take. This is either that same day or another day. This isn't going to be critical, but again, you feel a pulse of pain in your mind as you take a small bit of psychic damage. And this whole ordeal kind of emphasizes two things. Firstly, after this training and remembering your victory against that Durastian soldier Raz at Prism Palace in Ostennis, you know that it's possible and potentially within your grasp to pull your slivers quickly back to your hand. Although you realize it's definitely going to take additional time and practice to reliably accomplish this type of feat on command. As you're training, Rebecca, the wood elf, kind of notices you and comes up and talks to you. Oi, that's a neat trick you got there, pulling your weapon back to you like that. You see Rebecca approaching. Have you seen my squad? She's kind of exiting the entrance to the ruins, kind of outside where you've been practicing this last time. You got magical abilities or something?
She definitely hears me say to myself, well, Brain, if you would fucking pull it back, it wouldn't hurt so much. Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm fine. It's just interesting to see you levitating those blades back to yourself. You got magic.
And I'll give her a little demo, and I'll just levitate one of the slivers up. According to my people, we wouldn't call it magic, because it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's magic, but my people, the Crescent Knights, were able to lift and move things and use power from their minds.
That's fascinating.
Manifested.
I've never been able to pull off any magic myself. I've tried to learn from Rhea. She's got some kind of natural magic she's able to do sometimes, but I guess I'm stuck being just a hunter. Do you mind if I show you a trick of my own?
Certainly. I wish I could show you how to do this, but I only actually just kind of got this competent at it. So
sure. Yeah, no worries. Well, so I know you didn't ask for advice, and you obviously seem to be mostly focused on retrieving your blades, but I also noticed that you're kind of really winding up when you throw them too. It's not bad form or nothing, but I think it might be costing you time. Here, watch this. See, my favorite weapon's my bow, but keep an eye on these daggers at my hip. She reaches back in her quiver, takes 2 quick arrow shots at a tree, and then in a blur of motion, tosses her dagger from her side as quickly as her arrows were loosed. See, you might find it helpful to practice throwing your blades just as quickly as you're trying to retrieve them. Might let you attack with that sword of yours there and still follow it up with a quick toss of one of those fancy curved blades. I don't know, just something to consider. You should work on it for a while. Anyway, I think everyone here is all settled for the day. You ready to head back?
Rebecca, that's a great tip. Maybe I think I'm not getting anywhere right now with all this retrieval, so I'll try what you said. Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
All right, let's do it. And you guys make your way once again back to Forest Hollow from the forest. And toward the end of the 5th and final day at Forest Hollow, Morndas, the 9th of Frostfall, is that final 5th day. You've made it back to town from another trip, and at this point, the only people left in town are the 4 of you, Gallus, Rebecca, Jokel, who recently made it back from his boat journey across the Arbor Loch to spread Matriarch Adola Moreau's ashes. And he was quickly brought up to speed on the current situation and has been gathering supplies from his shop. And then a very small handful of additional townsfolk who will be heading out to the following morning with Rebecca and Jokel as that final group heads for the ruins. Additionally, you don't have a ton of free time throughout your couple days, but you absolutely are able to scrape bits and pieces of time together to brew or attempt to brew 1 potion of healing using that kind of high quality water you bought from Ira and your own alchemical ingredients and equipment. Please make an ability check for me using your intelligence as well as your proficiency from your herbalism kit.
So +4.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. I'm keeping my note pages in mind if I roll hideously.
Oh, sure.
19 total.
19 total. You accomplished the expected result. You definitely successfully, it's almost natural to you in a weird way after having learned this long ago, brewing it yourself now, very competently done. You have brewed 1 potion of healing.
Woo!
And that will kind of conclude the ventures Telperion wanted to do, unless there's anything else you're interested in.
I want to go to Jerry's room at some point. I want to find Jerry.
For sure. Feel free.
Jerry, how are you? Where would I find you? I know we haven't gotten to your part yet, but like maybe what's something you'd be doing where I'd find you?
I mean, I guess depends on the day. Was this something you did early in the week, later in the week? Or
Oh, maybe later because I'm back from the ruins. So like maybe the last day.
Okay, Jiri would be. Oh man.
You don't have to say if you don't want. I could just.
If you guys want, we could also resolve that interaction later after some of Jiri's stuff.
Yeah, can we come back to that? Yeah.
At 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So you'll hang out with Jiri later in the week outside of what he may want to do with his time. But next we'll move on to Roulette.
Hi.
Roulette, what are you interested in doing over the next couple days here in Forest Hollow?
Top of my list, 2 things. One, so this is the morning after we just fought the big wind fuck
Correct.
thing. So I know at some point I want to probably, I think the next day, see if Ira and Jiri need my help in working on the fan. So that's definitely number 1 on my list.
Okay. Ira is definitely emphatic that he will need your help specifically. If Jiri wants to tag along and be part of that, environment in the shop, Jiri will absolutely, it sounds like, want to do that. So Jiri will be there, but Ira suggests that in order to, knit together, fix this connection of the magic to the wind fan, normally might take him 2 days, but with your help, you guys can knock it out in less than a day, especially with that elemental air you guys got. So with your help and Ira's help working on the wind fan, do me a favor and roll me an Arcana check.
Oh.
Normally this would be disadvantage because of your lack of experience in enchanting, but Ira's help is going to cancel out that disadvantage.
One moment. There we go. Okay.
15 total. You learn a lot in this process, but the process is very methodical and textbook right now. It is very much with Ira's help, he's like, you need to put this infusion there. You need to mutter this incantation at this time. These are the ways we need to lay out the kind of enchanting components. And over the course of, a 4, 5, 6 hour ritual, you guys are able to mend the wind fan, and it is functionally restored for Jiri.
Wind fan back in action.
So to be clear, so we've lost 2 of the vials of air. So we have 1 spare elemental air.
That is correct. Yeah. Well, if you gave 1 to Ira as he requested, you use the other for the fan's creation. Correct. So yes, you do have still in you guys' inventory 1 vial of elemental air.
That's on you, I think.
I will add that to the list in the satchel.
Okay, perfect. What is next for Roulette?
I'll hand the fan to Jiri. Jiri, go test that out. Make sure it's working. And I'll let Jiri go do his thing. Next, how much time did that take? That first one?
Half a day. Half of the first day.
Okay. I would like to the second half of that day. I'm assuming Jokel isn't back yet.
Correct.
Because it's still that same day later. Yep. I'm going to head over to Jokel's shop.
Okay.
Can I assume that in a blacksmith shop I can find 10 gold of spare metal parts hanging around?
100%, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jokel has kind of, given you his blessing in general to use what you need there, especially with the kind of evacuation effort. You may periodically here and there be asked by others, hey, do you know where Jokel keeps this? And you may help organize or assort things. But yes, all the scrap metal is available to you.
Perfect. I'm going to spend that afternoon chunk of like 4 hours with the new tools that Jokel had given me to use their ability to create the Smith's Companions, or Smith's Companion, singular.
Perfect. So how do you do that? Flavor for us what you're doing over the course of this time, and reveal however much you want to.
Yeah. So a couple of things specifically. I mostly am just like I'll probably ritually cast Identify like 4 or 5 times on these tools as I just have them laid out in front of me on the bench, just to like fully understand what they do. And like I don't get emotional very often, but he like reminded me that like these are his brother's tools. I don't know if he said his brother was alive or dead. I forget. He didn't say. Yeah. But I know that these are like of sentimental value. So making sure I kind of understand that, even though I'm more just like understanding the technical aspect of them. But two things I lay out in front of me. One, I had a couple of like assortment of the weird little stone critters that we found back in the Basilisk Cave.
That's right. Yep.
So just laying those out. And then I also had the wasp wings. So I'm like taking those out and just kind of looking at them. And then with Alfie's help, I am going to, I'm not going to give too many details because I'll debut it later.
Sure.
But for reference for everyone else, I am essentially casting an artificer's copy of Find Familiar.
Yep. Using the tools. Yep. And
also,
while during this process of both you doing that kind of ritual cast with the tools and analyzing the other stuff, give me a general investigation check.
Sure.
+8.
Do you have initiative or anything?
No, I don't have anything. Oh wait, I'm a halfling.
Yep. Yeah, just nothing, unfortunately, of note. But you definitely are just like seeing the fine craftsmanship of the tools, the insect statues, all that. You're seeing what you expect to see. Nothing of particular insight as you analyze those.
His nat 1 was a 9.
I know.
I'll wrap that up and I will place my completed companion in my bag.
Perfect. You are able to do so.
And then
what is next for Roulette?
Next for Roulette is going back to Ira on day 2 to chat more about the Cape and my project there.
Perfect. So you start to work with Ira on, at his suggestion and your own understanding, enchantment of higher level magics can take time, and you don't know if you have that time available with Ira's help. So instead of trying to begin quickly the process of something you might need to finish on your own, you put most of your time into developing with him a custom recipe, a formula for something you're trying to achieve. Do me a favor and roll a d4.
Oh, Jesus.
And then add 1 to that number. Lower is better for you in this situation.
I don't like that.
Wait, what? Oh, I have to put a space. 1d4 plus 1.
Not a big deal, but it does, the development of this custom recipe does take the full 5 days. So in a situation where if you guys were firing on all cylinders and working amazingly efficient in tandem with each other, maybe the creation of that formula could have taken less time, but it does take you the course of this couple days of preparation to develop that recipe. As your guys are considering the magical process for enchanting the effect you have in mind, Ira also in the middle of that process kind of talks to you. So I think you've made it somewhat clear what you expect the conjured effect of this enchantment to be, but you may consider this as well. It may alter the required ingredients a bit, but could afford you versatility. So, Miss Tinkerton, Enchanter Extraordinaire, I think you have a decision to make. Would you prefer to proceed with less versatility and more potency, or more versatility with slightly less potency? And functionally to oversimplify, you can choose to 2d10 of a normal damage, of a single permanent fixed damage type, or you could pursue something of slightly less damage, but damage type would be a little more versatile at the choice of the wearer. Fuck. Putting you on the spot to make a decision.
I'm keeping a really strong poker face right now.
You should keep one, because this is absolutely roulette's call.
I didn't even know there was going to be damage involved with this cloak.
Ira, that's a good question. No, knee-jerk reaction. Versatility. I gotta go for options. I think something like this, it's got to be suited to the situation we're in. So I'm gonna go for versatility.
Very well. Let's proceed then. And then over the next couple of days, you guys, using that bit of direction, please roll let me get to this. Once again, never having customized a recipe formula for an enchantment before, you would normally have disadvantage on something like this, but with Ira's help, it will cancel that out once again. So please make a straight Arcana check.
You got a +8 to that too.
No, it's a +10.
Wow. Very successfully, according to Ira's direction and guidance, at the end of midway through the 5th day, when you guys complete this venture, he feels like you have something magically sound here. Hard to tell unless you proceed with enchanting the item, etc. But he thinks you guys were very thorough, dotted all your I's, crossed all your T's. You guys, he thinks, have successfully created a recipe for this effect.
I thought you were going to say successfully completed it.
No, definitely not. Unfortunately, it will take time to actually enchant the item, but you guys have developed a custom way forward.
So,
yep.
So Ira, just a quick question here. So I'm like just reviewing the notes. I'm probably not even looking at him as I'm reading the notes. I think I know the steps, and I think I know generally how to do the first. Thank you for all of your help with this. How long do you think? Following these steps, wash, rinse, repeat. How many days do you think this will take?
That's a very good question, and frankly, outside the time effort, if we're separating and I'm one of the last people to head out to the ruins, but it will also take some resources as well. You'll need.
Oh, that's right.
In my estimation, this could take 2 full work weeks of time, or 10 days or so. I do suspect you'll need at least to spend 200 gold or so of supplies, high quality powders, powdered magics and inks for the creation of this thing, in addition to potential resources that can hold the enchanted effect. So definitely, I think 200 gold. If you're interested, you can buy those all from me now ahead of time. And then as you guys proceed in whatever your ventures are, work on it periodically. But it will take at least, I would think, 2 work weeks or 10 days or so.
That sounds great. And I'd love to lessen your burden of whatever you have to carry over to the ruins. So consider, if you wouldn't mind, before we part ways, I think we're headed down to Chimeras. If you're headed over to the ruins, if you wouldn't mind just getting together a bit of a care package that I can use.
Absolutely. Let me go grab some things real quick. And over the course of the next 15 or so minutes, he does assemble for you functionally, like, shall we say, a 200 gold worth enchanting case of goods. So you have virtually an enchanting kit that you're spending 200 gold on, if you're comfortable with that.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just add enchanting kit to my
Perfect.
inventory, just knowing I'm going to use it for this.
100%.
Now, Ira, you mentioned potentially some additional exotic resource to throw into this. Is it on like page 19 of this guide, telling me like here's a list of options for it, or is this something I gotta do a bit more research to figure out what would actually apply correctly?
You may be able to deduce what may apply as your travels find. For example, for this effect, you may find this herb to be valuable, or there is a list of suggestions there on the formula that I added. So you'll just need to keep your eye out for things that
Appendix
you can.
D. Okay, I got it. Yep,
Yes, perfect. Let me look at something real quick. I never did do that, but that is okay. I just want to set up something real quick. Sorry for the delay. Okay. Perfect. Yep. So you guys are successful in your venture. Then one other thing you notice, there's two other things for you, Roulette. One, after your odd experience the other night, although you got good sleep and are continuing to get good sleep over the next couple of days, you are feeling a building pressure in your lungs. Like it still feels like you're able to take natural full breaths and get all the oxygen you need, but it just feels like your breaths are feeling denser for some reason, more full of particulate matter or material, etc. Nothing that's like debilitating or even causing you discomfort, just something you notice that your breaths seem to be heavier. Additionally, the final bit of thing I'd like to resolve for your downtime is scouts periodically make it back over the course of this 5 days. And they get both your and Gallus's attention to kind of download with you guys, since you guys were the ones that sent them out. You get reports from Cardigan Post, Elandris, and that northeastern Tri-Nation outpost. Cardigan Post, they suggest that there were soldiers spotted there, but they weren't able to get close enough to determine whether Durastians had taken control of that mining location. The Tri-Point Outpost, uniquely, the human that was sent there, Dimitri, was able to successfully get through the outpost and into Belladonia and promised to get your letter delivered, that you had given him to deliver to Storm's Edge. The halfling that was sent, Hal is his name, actually was turned away from that location. Durastians seem to have control of that Tri-Nation outpost. Soldiers in black, silver, and red armors definitely occupying that space. So Hal the halfling comes back to your town and delivers that news, but Dimitri was able to successfully make it through, and as we understand, has your letter and is intending to deliver that. Finally, also, Hal has a letter for you. As he met a caravan of couriers that were traveling through that outpost and said, we were heading back to Forest Hollow, and actually has a letter for you. So add to equipment. I have just added, oh man, it just did a weird thing for me. I do want to make sure you get this now. Inventory, manage inventory, add custom item. I'm going to call it just letter. Paste, add item to equipment. Okay, it's being difficult right now. I can post it in the chat if you want, or I can send it to you later, but you do get a rather lengthy letter from both of your parents that I imagine you would want to read very quickly. Okay, we can do that later. Maybe I'll email you, but there is quite a bit of text there for you to read. The other bit of scout information is that Elandris has been confirmed to be occupied by Durastian control, which is somewhat uneasy news considering that is by far the closest city to For's Hollow. So whether or not For's Hollow is on their radar, still unclear, but Durastian occupation has taken Olandris. About, 2 or less days travel westward from For's Hollow. After that, that will conclude Roulette's downtime, unless you have any other bits of business you want to take care of.
Nope, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Next, we will move to Jiri. Jiri, what are you up to over the next couple days?
Alrighty. Well, first thing that Jerry's gonna do is that night he's going to test them out. So he's been looking for honey lately, for some specific reasons. But he's gonna hop into bed, and again, as he's done previously, he's gonna actually unlock his door, make sure that it's unlocked. He's gonna hop into bed and he's gonna go to sleep, wishing he had some honey, a jar of honey.
Okay. Make a perception check as you fall asleep. You don't notice anything during your sleep, no weird bodily sensations or sounds that catch your attention. Although, when you wake the following morning, there is a jar of honey sitting on your bedside table, and you hear a voice in your head say, "Finally, you're awake. I admit I shouldn't have done what I did last night. The goblin running Bullwinkle's pub seems rather harmless, but I did break into his stores and acquire this for you. So I don't know if you want to keep that on the down low or apologize to the man, but that's where this came from."
How did you find it?
I kind of surveyed the surrounding territories, and although there's very minor beehives available in kind of the outskirts of the forest, obviously meaderies or pubs would have access to honey for various drinks and mead brewing. So I thought I'd check there, and sure enough, there was a couple jars stored into boxes as they were packing up things at the bowl. Wasn't very difficult to get that. Don't know why you continue to use my power at night to go fetch you things, but just so you know, you can control that ability in the day if you want. You always find the strangest ways to use my magics. Rather inefficient, if you ask me.
Rats, I was trying to catch you, actually. I was gonna wake up when the honey showed up, but maybe tomorrow night I'll catch you in the act. I want to see what you look like when you walk around.
Very well. But you do have one single jar of Bullwinkle's pub honey.
All right. And then I'm going to head down to Ira's to meet up with Ira and Roulette.
Perfect. So as discussed, Roulette and Ira, with your guidance and supervision during the process, they are able to successfully mend your wind fan, and maybe you test it out at some point. But is there a specific thing you're hoping to do while you're there?
Yes, I want to chat with Roulette if I could. So like probably before, maybe some downtime when things were,
sure,
we were working. Yep. I want to ask, or at least try to convince Roulette to give me lessons on how she makes her weapon magical. So I'd be like, Roulette, I've noticed lately that you can make your hammer light on fire. How did you do that?
Well, it's kind of a combination of different runic enchantments. Hold on, I want to double check something before I say anything. A bit of just an incantation, and then some corresponding runic enchantments, and kind of touching that weapon. And I can actually do, and I feel like you'll probably appreciate this. My glove has you may notice, has like an additional finger on it. Because normally it was just like the snapping finger for my firebolt. Those are still there. But my pinky has something on it now too. It's just like an additional little sleeve, but you see there's like a little rune on it. And I will, because this is the first day, and I know I don't need to use this for
sure, yeah.
days, I'll touch my thumb and pinky together and touch my flail, and it'll actually crackle with lightning up the entire flail to the head of it. It doesn't do any like active damage or anything, but just like sparks and like little lightning bolts, tiny lightning bolts will be arcing around it. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's kind of just a bit of runic inscriptions that just, I don't know the basis of kind of this runic magic. I know the different pieces that go into it, but kind of just hits it and gives it some extra energy.
Whoa, that's so cool, Roulette. What are the incantations? I want to try. I want to see if I can do this as well. Maybe that'll let me recharge my sword.
Well, let me try this first. Do you have your sword on you?
Yeah, here it is.
I'm going with my second spell slot. I'm going to cast Arcane Weapon using lightning damage on Jiri's sword.
It absolutely functions. Lightning crackles around Jiri's blade.
Whoa, this is awesome, Roulette. But I want to be able to summon it myself, right? Because like, if you have to do it for me every single time, doesn't really count. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can try and do it. I will say this is not me patting myself on the back. This is more of a requirement of it. It took me quite a few years to learn even how to do some of the basic stuff here, but DM, can I try and teach him how to cast Arcane?
Sure. So roll a general intelligence check as Roulette is describing to Jiri how the detailed geometry and magical theory involved with doing the effects that you have been able to do.
Nerds.
Well, it's gonna be funny because he's gonna use this charisma.
Jiri, your eyes start to almost glaze over as, although Roulette is clearly a very engaged and passionate teacher, her high level knowledge of like the inner workings of the weave and how to pluck arcane magic and guide it through runic enchantments and stuff is so over your brain that it might be somewhat overwhelming depending on how you understand it. Although as you feel potentially overwhelmed in this moment, you hear a voice in your head say, "Oh shit, lost cause this one. Wait a second. I wonder if there's an opportunity here."
Oh my god.
And then
Jiri,
Jax will
hold
respond.
on.
Jax
And you
will
feel a
respond.
pressure, you feel a pressure in your mind and just an odd sensation. And then take it away, Tim.
Jax will respond, "Not yet. Let him try it first." And then Jiri will be like, "Okay, let me try this. I think I completely understood it, Roulette." And he does his normal little like phrase he says. He's changing the incantation to "Thunder flashes and lightning roars. I summon me a mighty sword. Address the stormbender. Lend me your splendor." And he draws the sword out.
Yes.
And nothing has changed. He says, "Rat." All right, hold on. One more try. Puts it in his sheath. And then Jax will say to whoever else is in his mind, "Okay, now." And
Very well. Hold on. And you feel that surge of pressure in your head, and then like glass shattering, a moment of relief, like some mental barrier has been sundered, and Jax is able to take over should he wish. Roulette, make a perception or insight check before you even ask what you're asking.
I am just honestly going to make it a disadvantage because I am very much nerding out about how to teach him how to cast Arcane Weapon.
Very consistent level of disadvantage. Although, yes, you are absolutely enraptured, and you notice Jiri like kind of blinking his eyes for a moment in like some kind of confusion, but nothing of note you pick out from his expression. But if Jax would like to take over.
Yeah, fog billows out of Jiri's mouth, and it like.
Oh, I
covers
probably
over
see
his-
that.
You
Yeah.
definitely see this, yeah.
Yeah, it covers his face in like a fog, and it's like it changes his skin tone to a darker, like purplish black, pale, kind of color. And you've seen Jax before, correct?
In the boat.
Yeah. So briefly, you see again this kind of half dwarf, not half dwarf, half drow kind of figure, completely different face than Jiri, and he takes the sword out and he pulls it out of the sheath.
And not only and you mutter an incantation, and not only does this sword crackle with electricity, it also glows subtly as an enhanced elemental weapon has just been summoned from its sheath.
And Jax, twirls it around a little bit, and he says to Roulette, "See, wouldn't things be easier if I were in charge? You would be able to teach me much easier than you can teach Jiri. Maybe you should convince him to let me out more often. What do you say? Could you help me with this, Roulette?"
So I guess you don't need the glove. Do we know his name? I forget if we knew his name in the boat.
Yeah.
I think he did introduce himself as Jax, and whatever other titles he may have introduced himself as. Yeah.
So, hi, Jax, if I remember correctly. How did you just get here now? Did Jiri not let you through, or is this a forceful thing?
I kind of had to force my way out. Yes, indeed. Can't stay here for much longer. In fact, Jiri's already trying to pull back, but like I said, I could use your help. I'm trying to get out of him, trying to get out of Jiri, and as you can tell, he's clearly not the brightest. I think I could be of much more help to you and your companions. So if you could do anything to help me. And like you can kind of see like the fog is starting to recede back into Jiri's mouth.
What do you need?
Just talk to Jiri, convince him I could do better than him.
I can talk to him.
And then Jiri's back, and he's looking at his sword, and it's
looking at an arcanely enhanced crackling lightning sword, still active for a moment before it fades.
Whoa, I did it. Roulette, you taught me so well.
You kind of knocked it out of the park there. I'm not sure how many times you'll be able to do that over and over again, though. I can only even do it a few times a day. Jiri, how do you feel right now?
I feel really thirsty and tired all of a sudden. My head kind of hurts too.
You should get some, get a nap or something. Jiri, do you still hearing voices in your head?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Is it still just your dad that you're hearing?
Well, my dad, and then the mad wolf always making fun of me. He's really annoying.
That mad wolf ever give you a name?
Oh yeah, I think so. His name is Jax, I think.
Jax?
Yeah.
And I'll say it, try to say it at the same time.
Whoa, how did you know?
I don't get alarmed or anything, but I think I may have just spoken to Jax. Not in my head. I think Jax may have just kind of jumped into your body a bit and taken over for a second.
Well, now you believe me then that I'm cursed, right?
I certainly believe that there is another entity within you. Are you okay? Like, are you hurt in any way, or besides being thirsty and tired?
And he looks around at himself. No, I don't see any scratches. I don't think the mad wolf bit me while he was out. That's a good thing.
He would have been biting himself at that point, but that's good to know. Okay. Yeah, interesting. He mentioned wanting to get out of you. And I don't really know what to make of that.
Yeah, that's one thing he wants. He always wants to be in control, but then I have to sit in the background and just wait. I don't trust him. He's always so mean to me. I want to be in control. Why would I let Jax take over my body? You know, it's a curse, right? I just got to get rid of him.
Yeah, he did seem like kind of a gruff individual. Okay, why don't you get some water and get a nap and maybe test out that fan of yours.
Oh yeah, the fan. I'm gonna go test it out and see if it still works. Thanks for helping me fix it.
Yeah.
And then Jury like runs away.
Perfect. And the fan does issue its gust of wind as you expect, and it is fully functional and restored to its former glory. What is next for Jiri during downtime?
He next on his list, it doesn't matter if it's today or the next day, or at some point he needs to go find Toby as well.
Perfect. You are able to find him. Toby, where might Jiri find you?
What day generally were you saying? Like,
this is
could
day
be
two,
the second or third day. Yeah.
So I would be up. I'll even ping it. I would be up yonder at the abandoned temple, just doing some general upkeep. You might walk in and I'm picking some stuff up, some trash, sweeping some stuff away with thaumaturgy. But yeah, that's where you would find me.
Okay, Toby, now that you're done cleaning, come on, let's go.
Okay. Sit down, whatever I'm holding, and follow after.
And Jiri's gonna take you to wherever the tallest hill is. If there's like a cliff anywhere nearby, anything like that.
The tallest cliff would probably be the training grounds that you guys are very familiar with at this point. So you guys are absolutely able to proceed past further south than the Nora camp and make your way toward that training ground cliff. So you're up at the training grounds. What are you guys hoping to do?
Are we doing some sparring or something?
No. Flying practice. You need to reteach me how to fly, Toby.
Oh, jeez.
I know, it's quite embarrassing that I can't fly, and you can. So I need your help. Before the others realize I can't fly.
Well, to start with, how do you try to fly normally? Like, in your head, you go, push, or...
I mean, yeah, it kind of just happens. I take my boots off and then I fly.
Okay. Well, let's give it a shot. Run through the motions.
All right, so I'll pop my boots off, and then I'd probably run to the edge of the cliff and just jump.
Are you doing that course of action?
No, I'm describing what I would do.
Describing what you would do. Got it.
I was like, I have to react to that right now. Well, maybe just maybe let's just try and get to the top of the pole. It's like 40 feet tall. Let's just see if you can get up there.
Okay, I'm gonna try really hard. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna touch the sky, and he jumps, and he gets to about halfway and then just stops.
Yeah, the familiar kind of slow pace levitation that you've seen him achieve before does lift Jiri into the air before it just like can't go higher without more effort very slowly.
And then Jiri will, strain for a while and then kind of float back down and be like, rats. See, I can only get halfway there.
How do you feel when you're at that top and you're trying to push further?
I feel like there's a wall that just like won't let me go any higher. It's strange. No.
As you say that, you hear just a voice in your head say, "Interesting." That's all.
why don't you show me how you fly? Maybe that will give me some ideas, inspire me.
Well, as I noticed, I kind of tested this out yesterday, just in my room. But so this might be a bit of a short demonstration, because as I get my wings to appear, they fade fairly quickly after. So I'll demonstrate, and I'll bamf out the wings, and then I'll do some flapping, and I'll get to the top of the pole, and I'll fly further and higher, and then kind of glide back down for about a minute, land as they kind of just fade away.
Yep, as the kind of gray coloration slowly overtakes the wings and the feathers kind of disapparate into like mist and dust as they're getting like almost withering over the course of that time, they eventually fully gray and then just blink out of existence, fading into the air.
Can I do something before he comes back down?
For sure.
Okay. I'm gonna be in Jax mode again and be like, hey, do you think you could help me out here?
I think we're on the same page. Hold on. Once again, Jiri and Jax both experience this weird pressurized sensation in their head, and like the shattering of glass, a relief. And Jax is able to take over.
And so, Toby, you would see like a fog come out of Jiri's mouth down as he's watching you fly around.
Which that would probably expedite my descent down for Jiri.
As you're coming down, Jiri rockets up right past you.
As you successfully fly into the air, and Toby, you see the familiar half drow face of Jax, who you had previously met on the boat in the Underdark.
Knowing I'm getting kind of close to my limit,
this is 30 seconds in, so you have some time.
I'll follow him around for a bit to just kind of entertain the flying.
Jiri's speed in this moment, like Jiri has very good control. Jiri, you can do what you wish to, but very full motor control of his body.
Yeah, I'll do like some loops, and kind of like dive around, and maybe we're like flying past each other for a little bit, or at least for a few seconds. And then once your wings start to fade, he'll land with you.
I'll land, and is Jax still out?
Yeah.
Jax, right?
Yeah, it's good to see you again, Toby.
I think it's good to see you as well. Is Jiri okay?
Yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about Jiri. Now, I need your help. I'm stuck inside Jiri. You've probably heard him. He can't even fly, right? Like you and me. So not really worth a lot. Maybe if you could do me a favor and just let him know that, you'd probably rather have me around, Party would prefer to have Jax out and about than Jiri. That would do me a big solid, if you could help convince him. Because right now he likes you guys. He likes having fun with you, but if you could tell him you prefer me, I think maybe we could convince him to, take a back seat.
He seems to be very upfront.
Yeah, you're free to make an insight check if you're interested in doing that, but...
Well, first I want to poke a little further.
Sure.
Well, so... He calls you the Mad Wolf. He seems to be convinced this happened, days ago in those ruins, but have you always been inside Jiri?
As long as I can remember, yeah. That was just the first time that he needed me to fight for him. So that's when he got his first taste of me taking over. And that's where he got in his mind. I don't know. He connected the wolf biting him. I do like to howl. I am quite a hunter myself. So he put two and two together, unfortunately for him. And he thinks he's now cursed. But I'm really the one that's cursed with him. So anything you could do, like I said, would be much appreciated. If you could just, like I said, convince him, tell him you guys, maybe he'd be better if he's, stayed in the back a while. That way I can do what I need to. I need to get out of here, head back to Duras and figure out what happened to me.
Okay, that is where I would like to discern if his goal is get in control so he can get out, or get in control so he can just be in control and be powerful or something. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Make an insight check, and then Jiri, it will be Jiri/Jax. It will be up to you to deliver to Tobirama, whatever bit of insight you wish to give based on his fairly good roll.
Between the two options that you mentioned, you would probably be able to tell he's leaning towards the more like he wants to get out and he doesn't care if it's like if like he's irregardless of whether Jiri is okay in the process of him escaping, he's very focused on himself. If that makes sense.
I'll definitely mention that to Jiri, and I'll try and talk him into it.
I appreciate it. You'll be hearing from me in another time, but I just wanted to show you that I could be a lot more useful than Jiri. And then he kind of gets sucked back into Jiri's mouth, and Jiri's like, he looks really dizzy for a second. He like is wobbling and like almost like about to faint, but he shakes his head and he's like, "Whoa, were we just flying there?
We were.
I think I was flying.
We were. So you could tell.
Yeah. Wow, I did it. I can fly again. That's great. Thanks for teaching me."
Well, I think you found a way to break past that wall you felt you were experiencing. So maybe try and as you broke through, try and focus on that feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Kind of just like blacked out there for a little bit. I don't know what happened, but all I know is I was in the air at some point.
And you were outpacing me, clearly.
Thanks, Toby. We should have more lessons. That way I can get good at flying and impress everybody.
I'm always here to help.
Okay. I'll see you later. I gotta go find more honey.
Oh, man.
And he runs.
So, yeah, perfect.
runs
So
away
you
from you.
leave Toby. What is next for Jiri?
Okay. One thing he is trying to do, like every night he's gonna put his stone in the corner of his room or his pot of honey, and he's gonna try to wake up whenever it gets like brought to him. He's like intentionally trying to like see whatever is bringing him his things.
Perfect. So do me a favor, since you're paying attention so specifically to this phenomenon, do me a favor and roll a perception check with advantage.
Oh.
Wow. Very balanced. That's amazing. So, okay, with a natural freaking 20, here's what you notice. As you another night are trying to bring a stone to you or bring your jar of honey across the room, kind of smaller distance requests than you previously have hoped for. As you're falling asleep, you notice a shiver. And as soon as you notice that shiver, you wake yourself up immediately and you see it's very, very difficult to see. Borderline invisible, but you see the form of a very, very translucent, again, almost invisible, air-like dark, it's like a dark black mist, but is so barely visible that it's hard to even notice. But you see it come out of your own body, this sensation of cold taking over as this presence of heat leaves your body. And as this you can see there's particulate matter in the air, tiny little bits of black, and then tiny little shimmers every once in a while of like iridescent colors. You get a glimpse of like a red that becomes a yellow, and then a blue that transitions into green. Again, just very sporadic particulate effects, but you always notice the presence of black particulate matter. And as that kind of cloud of almost invisible stuff leaves your body and goes over to the corner of the room, the jar of honey is levitated into the air and brought over to your table, and it sits there. And it just, as soon as you do that, you can do something if you wish, but the cloud is moving back towards your form.
So Jiri, like, is like watching this with like one eye, like pretending to be asleep, but he's gonna wake up and he's gonna say, "Whoa, wait, stay right there." Can I have my own flavor as to what this looks like also?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
sure,
imagining that, like, because he has his like blue stone, his like little nightlight that he sleeps with. Imagine there are kind of like shadows cast in the room, and like as he sits up, I'm imagining like part of his shadow actually like bends into this figure. Is how I'm imagining it, right? Like, so that like the mist or this like shadowy thing like is almost connected to him, like tethered to him in a way. And he's gonna be like, "Whoa, so you're Moby, the shadow Moby. You're the one that brought me all the stuff and kept me alive when I was in the forest. Thank you, Moby."
For the first time ever, you hear outside of your own head a low voice emanate from this cloud. "Well, this is interesting. For the first time, we're speaking outside your mind. But yes, you have caught me fetching for you once again some unnecessary, extravagant nonsense. Misusing my power, I'm availing to you. But yes, consciously you can make use of this ability as well, as you always have been able to. It doesn't always have to be a request subconsciously in your sleep."
Wow, that's awesome. We're friends now. Now that you're out, we can play games together and stuff. Come on. I haven't talked to Telperion in a while. He should be coming back soon. Let's go say hi to him.
Very well. And as like it kind of grumbles, it moves forward and suffuses itself into your form, and you feel the shiver sensation you were feeling disappear as your whole body kind of very comfortably heats itself.
That's why he was shivering, because Moby was off.
No, wait. No. Go out again. Get out again. Go. Get out. Shadow Moby out.
Are you trying to conjure it out again?
Yeah.
Okay, you are successfully able to cast that spell, and drifting out from your form, again, tethered to you via your shadow, this invisible servant is floating in front of you. "What do you need this time?"
No, you're gonna walk with me. We gotta show Telperion you.
Interesting. Do you think he can handle that? He might be alarmed for your safety.
No, to be cool, we can play a game together. I don't know, a 3-person game, but we'll think of one.
Very well. Lead the way.
And I'm specifically gonna say it takes about an hour for Jiri to find.
For sure. So over the course, like, you spot Telperion arriving with Rebecca and whoever else was traveling back with them from the forest. And like, as they're like coming down the pathway, you suddenly feel warmer.
Yeah, and Jiri's gonna continue to run up to Telperion and be like, "Telperion, look at my cool shadow friend. He's like a ghost almost. Look at my shadow."
What are you talking about?
Right. And then Jiri turns around. Wait a minute. It was just there. It's like it was Moby. Moby was right here. I swear to God. He was standing there, and now he's lost again. Moby.
So you're naming your own shadow Moby now. I know it's moonlight out.
No, it's so hard to explain. Okay. Moby's my friend, right? We are coming here to play a game with you, and he was right there, and now he's gone. I don't know what happened, but you have to believe me. Moby was right. He was standing right there. You remember Moby, right?
At this point, I'm gonna turn to Rebecca. Rebecca, why don't you head back? I'm gonna take a walk with Jiri for a bit.
Yeah, all right. That sounds good enough. And she'll head back up to Nora Camp.
Yeah. Are you saying you played a game with Moby? The boy, did he come back?
Not that Moby, the other Moby. It's so confusing. Okay. I caught him. He was coming into my room bringing me stuff. And then I talked to him, and because he was bringing me things. Remember that when it was happening a while ago?
Right. Yes.
Moby kept bringing me stuff in my sleep, right? Well, he was back. And then I wanted to play a game. I thought it'd be fun for you to be friends with him because I'm friends with him. And then now he's gone. So maybe he's a little shy.
I see. Maybe. There is something I wanted to tell Moby.
Oh, okay.
Or the Mad Wolf. The different ones. Are they different?
Yeah. Why would you want to talk to the Mad Wolf? He's evil.
Well, I wanted to let him know that I'm watching him.
Oh, okay. I'll let him know.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. He's saying that, oh yeah, forgot about that. See, the Mad Wolf bet me that I couldn't beat you in a duel. You want a duel by any chance?
In the moonlight right now or another time?
Why not? Moonlight sounds like a good time to duel.
Sure. I'm a Mooncrest elf. Training ground day?
Perfect.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'd say best of 3 rounds. Whoever can hurt the other one more.
3 times, like 3 strikes.
No, 3 rounds. Like 3. I don't know how to describe this.
Theme here.
3 chances for you to attack each other, maybe.
Yeah, like that.
Whoever
All
feels
right.
more beaten by that point, yeah. But if you guys are interested, you're absolutely able to, once again, in the moonlight, make your way up toward Nora Camp, or the training grounds behind Nora Camp, rather.
I'll get those slivers out, ready to go. Get the black sword out. Should we use practice weapons or do you want actual weapons?
Doesn't matter to me. I think we'll be fine. Either way.
All right, let's try it.
All right, let me get my armor on.
Perfect.
Pull the
You
ripcord.
pull it and you inflate
Become a little puppy.
and feel warm. Yep.
Yeah. And then he's gonna draw a sword too. And he's like, oh man, I just had this working. Now it's not anymore.
I'll pull out my sword and shield.
Perfect.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna put the shield down. No, yeah, I don't know how this would work. I'm just trying. Okay, I'll do the sword and shield as this.
Okay.
And then, all right, you want to start?
Sure, whenever you're ready. And then really quickly, it jacks to
Yep.
his friendly inner companion. And he's gonna be like, I'll help him at first, but just watch.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
say so, we take everything away.
Very well. I'll
And
wait
so,
for
like,
your cue.
As Jiri is getting ready, you see his eyes kind of start to glow a little red. And his head starts to move faster. Like he's like dodging and ducking and weaving, and his doing like some prashic strikes, and you can see his speed kind of like increase.
Very well. Who's the first to make their first strike?
Should we initiative it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we won't go to a map, but absolutely. Go ahead and roll initiative.
17, 18 total.
Telperian's first to
14.
move.
All right, I'm gonna come on in and just give you a good old-fashioned swing with the sword.
Decapitate him.
I'm gonna go right at this. Like, I'm going right for the side. I'm
Sure.
kill this guy. Oh, I rolled a fucking 2. 8 total.
Oh, hold on. You roll with disadvantage because
Well, I rolled a
Jiri
2.
is very.
Yes.
Okay. Disadvantage and health. Okay. I rolled a 8 total with the disadvantage. So I definitely go down and miss. And then I guess I'll try. Well, I'm right up there. I'm just gonna push you back for the fun of it. It's a strength save. Try to throw you off balance a little bit.
Save.
I think you gotta be at 12. So you get pushed 5 feet back.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna step back 10 feet and just get my shield ready and prepare. Your turn.
All right. His eyes glow red and he howls, and you kind of hear the mad wolf voice kind of say, "Ah, Telperion, it's good to see you again." And then he brings his sword down, and he charges at you and takes a swing at you.
Shield
Perfect. Roll it.
AC 20.
He uses his bonus action to speak with you.
Clean
Yeah.
hit. Very, very competent.
Jeez.
All right. Whoosh, slashes across you. 15 damage.
I'll burn psionic energy to shield.
Okay.
So I block 5 of that.
Got it.
Nice hit. Jax then. Mad Wolf. All right, and
Yes,
then
it is I.
and then now that you're in close, I got the shield that kind of didn't hit, So then I'm just gonna bring up the long sword at you.
Perfect. You're definitely noticing the weird speed and motion of Jax's
rolling at
Jiri's
disadvantage.
form. Yes, is definitely moving and leaving after midges as he moves from shifting to shifting.
I rolled a 3 and a 17, so 9. No, wait, yeah, I'm adding 6, right? Yeah, 6, 79. 9 to hit.
This is Jax jumps to the side.
I'm gonna pull you in close with. I'm gonna do it again. So another strength save. I'm gonna try to pull you towards me this time. So we're right up next to each other. All right. So you get pulled in close to me, so you're like right within range of like right next to me. Your turn.
All right. And Jax is gonna be like, "Now, take it all away from him."
Very well. Oh. And you feel that pressurized sensation in your head and shattering of glass. A relief comes over you as Jax now can take over fully.
And Jax will swing again.
Do we experience the fog-like sensation?
Oh yeah. Fog covers his face.
Fog kind of magically changes your disguises your face. Okay.
15.
Blockity
Blocks
block.
it with your
A good clean strike, but Telpian got his shield up in time.
And then Jax is gonna drop all of his spells.
Okay.
And like
actually,
the fog will
okay, yep.
And the fog will also and then you just see like Jiri standing there like startled and like, wait, what's going on?
Got it.
I think I'm savvy enough to know that. Well,
you're definitely noticing a shift in the quarry right in front of you that you were dueling. This seems like, well, now this is just default Jiri, and I could hit that. Like,
yeah, I'm just gonna with my palm. I'm just gonna punch.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
With a regular roll now, not
Yeah,
disadvantage.
my rolls have been brutal. 9 plus 6, 15.
Technically that misses, but can I let it hit him? I feel like
Sure.
he would have advantage. I feel like
you.
Can I
Oh, sure.
give
With the
my
dizzying
Jiri-
sensation, yeah, for sure. Telpian, you can roll one more time.
17 net. All right, so I'll punch you.
23.
I punch you right in the chest. I'm just trying to push you backward to see what you're gonna do.
It hits Jiri and he like and that's like the most you've seen him like flinch from like any time he's gotten hit. He's like,
Huh.
he's like, oh, that was a good one. Now I'm gonna hit you.
All right, go for it.
And he like kind of weakly picks up his sword and tries to swing it at you. 9.
I don't even move. I just let it hit my armor.
It like dings off your armor. Whoa. Oh. You're pretty strong there, Telperion. Pretty tough.
It's true. You got some good hits in though.
Yeah. Whoa, I think I won, even though I couldn't hit you that last time. Somehow, you got much stronger there. You must have learned my moves.
I think Jiri's the winner here. No one else.
Oh, yeah, I won. Good for me.
And if anyone else could hear me, and right now I'm gonna do a psionic pulse and recover, and I want like my hair to blow back, and I want to like look right at Jiri, and I say, if anyone else could hear me, I'd want them to know that the Moon Crest Elves, and that at the strongest, are masters of the mind. So there's secrets in the mind don't always stay secrets. There. Yeah, and if anything ever happened to you, Jiri, if anyone ever hurt you, I definitely would do all I can to hurt them back.
Oh, you talking to the Mad Wolf? Yeah, he hurts me all the time. Hurts my feelings.
Yeah, I don't care about your feelings. If he hurts your body, then because I hurt your feelings too, so it's not really fair for me to, But yeah, no, if he ever hurt you, that would be really dangerous for him.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'll let him know not to bite me anymore.
Yeah, that would be good.
But I think I won my bet with him. I think I won.
What's he gonna give you?
He's telling me that he won.
Well, there's 3 of us here, and I think we both vote that it was Jiri that won.
That's what I'm telling him. And I said, if I won, that he would have to leave. But now he's going back on his promise.
We don't trust him.
I don't trust him at all. I'm glad you're on my side. All right. That was cool dueling, Telperion. Let's head back into town. I'm sure you're tired.
As we walk, I hold up a sword and a sliver. I say, Jiri, would you rather be hit with a sliver or a sword?
Probably the sword. It's cooler.
Better way to go down, sure. And that's all.
Perfect. As that kind of interaction concludes, that will also conclude Jiri's downtime, unless there's anything else you wanted.
That's it.
Perfect. Then we will move to Toby Rama. Toby Rama, what are you doing over the next couple days?
Well, I got so much to take in now. But Toby is going to be spending his days at that abandoned temple, and it's going to be he's going to be doing some just housekeeping, tending to the graves at the cemetery. Anyone who comes in for a moment, I'll like interact with them or leave them be if they're looking for a quiet place. And through all of these actions, he's spending a lot of time meditating, actively and passively, on his faith to Kelemvor and what that means. He thinks he was called Balance Bringer. The group who introduced him to Kelemvor had the Sir Tamora. They had a mantra: "We are those who commit to the inevitability of death, but not the finality of it." And so he spends a lot of time posing over that, pondering over that phrase, and then he's also thinking about the petrified statues from the basilisk and that whole kind of confliction that he was thinking about of, are they alive? Are they dead? Is there another state they could be? And he's trying to figure out what, like, someone who follows in faith of Kelemvor, what is their worldview? What is their tendencies? Because he has also had this kind of, it seems like, role put upon him through his dreams, and he's trying to reconcile the two and say if he wants to fulfill that role and work towards it, how should he do that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So as your religious service takes place over the several days, kind of tending to this old abandoned temple, which is like in dilapidated state, like some of the walls are even like missing chunks of masonry. So it's like exposed to the elements in a way also. So the kind of pews in the space are rotting and mildewish. And so like, it's not a pretty presentory temple, but the cemetery is something you certainly were called to since you've been here in Forest Hollow and you've tended to that space plenty of times, and now doing so at the temple as well. Normally, religious service might be a religion check or even a persuasion check, but with the nature of your connection to your deity, I want you to make a general wisdom check for me.
Should I do that?
Holy shit. Holy
Let's
shit.
go.
Kelemvor materializes.
So
Keep levels up.
two things happen over different periods of time. On the second or third or fourth day doing religious service, your meditation in prayer in the temple, as you take a moment away from doing kind of upkeep chores, you give a moment of prayer. And almost subconsciously, while your eyes are closed and you're in a prayer state, you open your eyes and you don't see anything. It's just pitch black. And you blink your eyes a couple times and you are seeing just black all around you. Familiar silver mists drift in from the sides. The stone platform you're on rockets up into the sky. And from far ahead of you, a platform descends equal speed until you both come to equilibrium position. And you see a familiar form roughly 60 to 80 feet away. Ivory robes and a dark hooded face obscured by the robes hanging over the face, and 6 wings, 3 on each side, being formed out of the mist drifting out of around you all in that space. And you see the familiar form of the being that has spoken to you before. And without a word, they just hold out their arm and gesture to the side, and mists kind of separate and you get a vision. This is very similar to a dream you had a couple nights ago, actually in Ostennis, where you were seemingly flying over cityscapes and seeing them. Actually, this one was actually the first night I think you got back into Forest Hollow. Yeah. Where you're seeing these landscapes of the familiar cliff shade. Down far below you, a set ablaze, a fire on all sorts of rooftops, seemingly far away, before your vision zooms to another icy northern landscape city with all sorts of stone architecture built into the side of the mountains. Again, set ablaze in flame, but it seems far away, distant. Then the mist separates again and you zoom forward and your stomach drops for a moment. Because this view is of Forest Hollow, set ablaze, and this is not distant. You feel like you are hovering 100 feet over town hall in the town square, and you feel the heat from the fires set below you. You feel the tangibleness. This vision, this omen feels more real than the kind of prophetic, distant visions of the other cities that you've seen. Fog and mist kind of overtake your vision again, and you see the Deva, this angelic figure standing out before you, and says, "To be balance bringer requires patience and sacrifice. You have been deemed worthy to use your own judgment in Kelemvor's service. that may not always be what you expect it to be. You may be burdened with this blessing. He has chosen you for a reason. You will not always feel that it is a blessing, but it is necessary. Doom Guide. And as he says the word Doom Guide, your eyes blink open and you are once again kneeling in the prayer temple where you had entered that meditation. The second thing that happens over the course of since you got a natural 20,
Yes.
that happens over the course of the couple days you're doing service, you notice another sensation. As you're walking from gravestone to gravestone, kind of general upkeep, maybe even, depending on how intense you're getting with it, even with shears, kind of trimming little bits of weed and grass to like make the space, to respect the dead that were laid here. You look over and see a tombstone you haven't seen before, but it's glowing like a cyan blue-green. You walk over to it and there's nothing there. It is simply a rounded top tombstone, and you reach for it and it's just nothing. It's just magical aura in that space. And then you look to the left of it, and similarly imbued with now this cyan blue-green aura is Nadia's tombstone, just glowing with a faint light. And then as you shake your eyes to kind of understand what you're seeing, that tombstone's not there. It's just Nadia's normal tombstone in the space next to it, which is nothingness.
Had there been writing on that magical one?
Make a perception check. No writing that you can discern on that magical appearance of a tombstone that is not truly there. But as you, those are the two rather unique phenomenon that occur over that time. What is next for Toby during your downtime?
And this would have been, maybe on my way from Nora Camp to the temple each morning and home each night. I would have stopped by Ira's because I'm looking to purchase some stuff. I know he and Roulette are busy working. I'm just like, hey guys, don't mean to interrupt. I was just wondering if I could pick up some components.
Oh yes, of course. Roulette, take things from here for a moment while I tend to Toby.
Got it.
And he will acquire for you. What are you asking for? What are you looking for?
Well, first, I was wondering if you have powdered silver of any quantity. I'm interested in potentially a fair amount.
Certainly. A rather common arcane component. Are you looking for arcane components? Yeah. I always thought you had more of a divine connection with the way you tend to the wounded around here.
Yes, and it's blossomed into something else, and I find myself emboldened by, I think, divine magic. But I know that I do not possess. I still, require some elements. I was specifically trying this other thing the other day, and I realized I needed some sort of catalyst.
Very well. That is very natural. How much are you hoping to buy? Here, let me pull up this store. I actually had packed some of this away. He pulls up kind of a crate to the side and kind of pries it open with a bar and lifts out some various components and stuff. How much powdered silver were you interested in?
Maybe 50 gold worth.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I can sell you that.
There's that, and then another one was I don't know if you have any like divination tools, focuses, simple things. I know some people use cards, some people use bones.
Yes. Matriarch Moreau actually used to. Interesting. She used to divine, or she claimed she would divine futures out of her tarot cards. I wonder if the matriarchs, the other two, have any of that. You may ask them if they have her cards. They may be of use to you if you're interested, but otherwise I do have various other gem inlaid sticks and incense candles and stuff like that may be of use to you.
I will grab 25 gold worth of maybe those incense packages, and then
Certainly.
yeah, I'll definitely go speak with the matriarchs about that because that's very interesting.
Anything else you need? I have various other components: silver, gold, iron.
Last but not least, I need a tome. Not anything specific, but it needs to be valuable. Upwards of, again, 25 gold worth.
Interesting. Let me leaf through my research collection for a moment.
Of course.
No, I need that. That's critical. Can't give that away. Nope. Just keeps looking through his list of like books on his shelf, and he's like, I forgot I had this one. He pulls like a very thin, like small journal that seems to be like a chronology of various deities and just like almost like an encyclopedia that he has no arcane use for, but has come into his possession. I could sell you this certainly for 25 gold. It may be worth even more than that, but I'll do you the service. I'll sell it to you for 25.
Oh, that is so greatly appreciated.
I don't know if it has any true incantations in it or anything. There's some blank pages toward the back that you may make use of how you wish, but maybe you'll find it useful.
You've done me great service, and I appreciate the advice on speaking with the matriarchs. That's kind of all I was stopping by for, so I appreciate it.
Very well then. You are able to spend 100 gold on the items you wished.
So that was a flat hundo. So I will also have then on consecutive days after done 2 castings of ceremony to acquire 2 vials of holy water.
Okay. Yep. Perfect. So you are able to successfully cast that spell and imbue vials of water with kind of a holy connection.
To holy water. And probably that, let's say the 3rd day where I went and bought that stuff, that night heading back towards camp, I'll go stop by town hall.
Okay. Without RPing the different matriarchs who actually, matriarch Marinveld, the halfling woman, has already been escorted to the ruins at this point, but matriarch Victoria Fawn, the half elf, is available and will welcome you in. Are you asking for anything in particular?
Yeah, those tarot cards, like Ira had mentioned.
Make a persuasion check.
Which I'm already got. 16.
Knowing how much you've done for this town, tended to people's wounds over a year, but still like not that extensive time here. Marinveld, or Victoria Fawn rather, is rather quick on the decision of yes, if anyone's to hold on to Matriarch Moreau's things that isn't Gallus, it might as well be you. And she happily hands over her Adola Moreau's tarot card deck. So you can add that to your inventory for free.
Tarot card deck. Okay, and then the next morning, so let's say 4th day morning, I would like to wake up and cast Augury.
Okay.
Using the incense that I bought. And I am trying to, it's of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to discern essentially whether us moving Forest Hollow into the forest seems promising or ill-advised, because today's the day where I'm gonna move my stuff over there. So that's
the following. You guys are toward the end of the 5th day is when you guys think that's your final night. So even whether it's the 4th day or not, this command is still enough. The within 30 minutes requirement is still valid because you guys are still in the process of shuffling people over there.
That's what I was hoping.
So regarding, are these trips that we're making, including the one just ahead of us for the different townsfolk? So your statement of planned action is that venture or that relocation for good or for ill? Describe for me how you're casting the spell with your components.
I will kind of clear my room early in the morning, and I'll what was it? Was incense, just general incense that I grabbed from him?
You grabbed, I believe, just general incense, and then your powdered silver and tome and such. But yes.
So I'll use the incense, and then I will sit in like a circle of it as it's all kind of wafting, and I'll take out my candle of anti-light, and I'll light it and be enveloped in darkness as I take a minute to cast the spell.
Very cool. Amidst the darkness that you can see through, specifically since you're the one lighting this candle, you see all the kind of incense around you ignite immediately with silver fire. Just like it all ignites in silver light, and then you can just see trickles of flame kind of burning through that incense. And as you ask that question, mist or smoke from that flame kind of circles your form and fills your breath with a very warm, comforting sensation.
Feeling affirmative, like positive.
Seeming to confirm or delay fear, or it definitely is a positive sensation you're receiving from this situation.
That was the last thing I had on my list.
And right as the spell completes, you feel like a burning in your chest, just for a moment. Just a very, like, for a split second, a spike in temperature. And that is not quite clear what that specific sensation was trying to present. But overall, the course of that action definitely seemed to be, you got some version of confirmation and assurance. One other thing I want to resolve for Toby is, over the course of these several days, as you're going to bed at night, your passive perception is very high, and you catch a certain routine or pattern over the course of these 5 nights. Every night, when everyone else is retired to the quarters, you know him so well that you are hearing the familiar gait of Gallus's bootsteps leaving his quarters from upstairs, heading downstairs and out the front door of Nora Camp with the soft bang of wood of the front door behind him. You identify that he has done this every night since you've been home for some reason. You identify the pattern, and if you want, you can indulge in curiosity, or you can absolutely just let him be and continue with his whatever he's doing.
I'd say on the 5th night, anticipating we are to head out potentially for good tomorrow, on that last night I will follow.
Perfect.
I'll hear the wood door close, and then I'll get up, put on my cloak and my boots, and follow out the door.
All right. You journey out the front of Nora Camp and kind of jog a little bit to catch up to Gallus, and that's where I'd like to take like a 5 to 10 minute bio and or lunch break, and we'll get back to that conversation after.
Woo! Woo! Wait,
Perfect.
Hold on. Can I call attention to one thing really quick?
Mm-hmm.
Jiri and I literally played out the TikTok that I sent as I was trying to teach him.
Yes, you're so right. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't Telperion that got it. It was Jax.
Yeah. Yes. That
Or,
is so funny.
I guess Ira's there too, right? Maybe Ira.
Yeah.
Ira's the one being like, yeah, that makes sense. And then Jiri's just like blinking and like, what? And then Jax gets it.
That is amazing.
Okay, so we will pick up back with Gallus and Toby right when we get back. Everyone take their time with lunch and stuff.
Cool.
Steve, while we're still on this stuff, I'm going to send you via email the letter you got from your parents. Message sent. Should be coming through to your inbox shortly. I was going to make a item for it on D&D Beyond so you could just add it, but it wasn't letting me paste my stuff in there for some reason.
I've got like a Google, not Google Doc, a Google like keep note of all the different just letters I'm sending and receiving. So I'm gonna paste it in there.
Perfect.
Holy shit, they wrote a lot.
It's not spoiling anything they say in there, but they literally got your 2 letters you sent them the same day. Yeah. So it's just like they had a response and then, holy shit, we just got another letter. Here's more response. So
nice.
I don't know why, but I feel like I've really amped up my sandwich game since you guys were all here.
Please tell me you're not still eating the same meats.
Oh, we pretty much ran out of those.
No, yeah,
Okay.
we ran out of those the day you guys left. I think I sent you guys a snap of like the last of the bread supplies. Yeah.
Oh, question for the group just to make sure. Michael Kennedy and Tim, neither one of you have a 2-pound ingot of platinum in your inventory, do you?
I think I have platinum though. I think I have platinum coins.
No, specifically the one from Kari. I have it in my notes. For some reason, I didn't add it to my inventory, so that's in there now.
Yep, 2 pounds of platinum, which I believe comes out to be 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weak stuff.
Crit MK. I'm saying it to some Kennedys right now. I'm trying to lose 20 pounds, and of course, we'll use what's it called as the motivation.
Snapchat. Oh no, Hilton Head.
Yeah, although I want that to happen before Hilton Head.
Me too. I'm trying to lose 40 though.
Dude, dieting is the worst, or just like not eating what you want.
Since you guys left, I have dramatically eaten less, and I've worked out 6 of the last 8 days.
Hot.
Nice. Got some good
Good energy.
good commitment.
I just gotta keep to it and not let it be a resolution thing that just gets abandoned.
Still using the Peloton?
Almost every day.
Nice.
And then I've gotten some actual workouts in too with some buddies from work. Trying to get better at squatting and deadlifting. Whoo-wee. All right. Is everyone ready to get back into things?
Yes, sir.
When
All
did
right.
when did Toby get the candle of anti-light?
It was
I woke
mysteriously
up.
on his
Yeah.
desk after a vision dream in Ostennis.
Okay.
All right, Toby Rama,
Yes.
you run out the front door. What do you do?
I'm so good at this. Where are his footsteps leading? I think you had said this last session that one time I saw him in passing at the temple, so that's where my thought is going, or that's where Toby's
Sure.
like, head is going. But he wants to
Make a
verify that.
perception or survival check.
I'll mix it up. That hovered on 3. That scared me.
You easily identify his bootsteps, the most freshly made ones right outside the front door. They continue northward down the stairs, a few steps forward toward the direction of the town, and then they strangely do not go further toward the town like where the abandoned temple and cemetery is that you've seen him throughout the week periodically. You see them turn to the right and hook around back Nor Camp and heading up the direction of the training grounds hill.
Okay, I'll follow.
Okay. Takes you 2 or 3 minutes to kind of walk up that hill, that kind of lightly, it's like a dirt path that's very lightly wooded with tree cover a little bit on the way up. But as you approach, you see the mast that is kind of in the center of the training grounds, 40 feet high, as you expect, with that same flapping kind of maroon cloak that's in tatters as kind of a makeshift flag. Gallus is up there. Gallus is sitting on the top of the mast.
Oh, wow.
Everyone fly.
Yeah, he flies
Everything
too.
the darkness touches is mine.
I'll just approach and I'll be like, out for your nightly stroll?
Oh shit, Tobe snuck up on me there. I could have fallen off this thing. Hang on 1 second. He takes a few moments to slowly climb down the mast, just kind of gripping it from the side and kind of shuffling himself down. Sorry, sometimes I just like to get up there. It's the best view of the town and just think for a little bit. Anyway, now that I've got you here alone, you mind taking a walk with me real quick?
Sure thing.
Awesome. He starts to kind of aimlessly walk through, kind of meandering through the training grounds, and then down the hill back toward Nor Camp, and then over into bits of the town. This whole conversation kind of takes place over this just kind of general walk with Gallus here late at night, after everyone has bed down. You all have been told that, like, get your things ready because we're heading out in the morning. Rebecca and Jokel are going to escort Matriarch Victoria Fawn and the handful of remaining townsfolk off to the ruins. We're going to go into Chimeris the following morning and make way for wherever you guys want to make way to kind of start that adventure. But over the course of this talk, he says, hey, listen, kid, I just wanted to say it's been really wonderful having you with us over the last year or so. I know I told you about Nadia dying during childbirth, right? Well, I've always wanted a kid real bad. I've had kind of a couple shots at being a father figure, at least, and none of them really ended up panning out. You may not view me this way, and I wouldn't blame you. We've only known each other for a little over a year or so, but in a way, I feel like spending time with you since you got here's scratched that itch for me a bit. It's nice always having your company, and I hope I've at least taught you a little bit compared to, well, you've taught me a lot. Now, I know you've mentioned your relationship with your parents is kind of complicated, and I don't mean to step on any toes or anything, but at least from my perspective, I sometimes view our relationship as being sort of my third chance at doing the whole father figure thing, and I thank you for that.
It hasn't been lost on me. No, it's been good. It's been good having you as kind of a fallback, especially early on here, and not being sure of myself. It was good to have, a foundation to fall back on when I needed.
I'm glad to hear that. And hey, well, I've got an impressionable young man at my disposal. Maybe you let me preach for a second or two. The other Noras, Telperion and Jiri, may have their minds on different priorities as we face the situation in Croatia right now, and Roulette's mind moves faster than any human I've ever spent time with. But I want you to consider Force Hollow and Croatia in general as somewhat of a home for you. It's better off for having you here. I haven't told anyone else this, but I've seen King Zavar in action, back when I was still in Durast. He's no good, Tobe. He's a blight to everyone around him and is as self-serving as anyone I can think of. Tobe, King Zavar is the reason I left Durast and made my way into Croatia, and Ostennis specifically. He scared me, if I'm honest. No feral beast or evil person in front of me really ever scares me, but a man like Zavar with an entire nation, maybe now 2, under his control, it can't be allowed to stand. I still can't piece together a reason for this assault he's made on Ostennis, but you can bet your ass he's got motivations that will benefit him more than just acquiring more land. As we leave Forest Hollow and head south, or wherever next, I want you to always help me keep in mind the difference between people like Alaya and people like Zavar. Alaya and her people, our people, all need help somehow or another to overthrow those who conquer and take things by force. I'm proud of you all for wanting to journey to Chimeras and see if there's anything we can do to help, gathering allies or establishing connections. Maybe you'll meet the Beast King someday. I hope it all pans out for us so we can witness something great as we take back Croatia from the clutches of that brute. He doesn't deserve it.
I mean, he had been in power all my life, so that's kind of all I've known. What was Duress like before he came into power?
It was still rough and severe. The climate just kind of necessitates a very harsh and hardened type of person to live there. Crime's pretty rampant. Living conditions aren't always great. But King Armand, before Zavar, was an honorable man, at least. Duress has a history of different monarchs that were power hungry or at least selfish. But King Armand, I think, Matthias Armand, that is, used to at least venture himself through the city, greet people. He was somewhat more approachable and, even if hardened, still kind in a way. People admired his strength, but also loved his general attitude. He didn't talk down to people, mistreat people for, doing things wrong. He didn't have public lashings or anything like that. There was honor to the man. Zavar is nothing like that. And we might not be able to do everything ourselves to help Croatia, but there will be others like me, like us, that want to see Ostennis and Croatia restored to the guidance of someone like Alaya. Someone benevolent, fiercely loyal, not afraid to get her hands dirty in order to accomplish good. That's what makes a good ruler in my eyes.
She seems... I was almost led to be distrustful of her because of how charismatic she was and how she controlled a room, and I was like, I quickly thought that could be taken advantage of, but I obviously haven't seen anything that demonstrates that from her. I've seen the opposite.
I can vouch for that myself as well.
She seems to be one in a million. And the fact that she also was able to take the throne and be that kind of person and maintain and keep her integrity is admirable.
You're not wrong. Hey, anyway, and you kind of arriving back toward the front of Nor camp at this point. Kind of brings you under his shoulder a bit. Hey, I've got something I think I want you to hang on to. He pulls out a small lump of kind of soft silk from his pouch and kind of holds it out in front of him. You recognize this immediately, something you've seen a handful of times before in his conversation with Ira at the Heart of Hearthfire Festival. Something he was kind of shared in exchange with Adola Moreau before you guys set out for Ostennis, and something he approached Queen Elia herself with out of the corner of your eye in the prison palace. He pulls out this lump and puts it gently into your hands. Hey, before we retire for the night, I want you to hang on to this. He kind of puts his other hand on top of your hands very tenderly. This was Nadia's and her mother's, Matriarch Moreau's, before her. It's been passed down along their bloodline for a long time. Who knows how long. When Nadia passed, Lady Moreau wanted me to hang on to it, but I can't seem to make heads or tails of it. Neither Ira nor the Queen's own mages at the capital could determine its nature or origin. I even showed it to the Beast King once, when he visited Ostennis, and I happened to be in the Queen's company. Anyway, maybe you'll be able to better understand it than me. Please be careful, though, and use your very, very best judgment who you show this to, or let touch it. I've seen it make people do strange things before. Be careful not to touch it.
Not Toby.
Be careful not to touch it directly, unless you're confident you've got the right temperament to handle its influence. Anyway, go on and get to sleep, kid. We'll be getting up bright and early to get a move on. I'm going to go check in with Rebecca and see if there's anything else we need to do before we get to bed. But go on and get some good sleep tonight. And he kind of ushers you in the door and kind of makes his way back out to an unknown direction.
Bro, how are you going to do this to me? I'll follow him in, and then I'll make my way to my room.
Cool. I guess I should say this, as you kind of settle back into your room, you hear his boots echoing again, not upstairs to his usual quarters, but once again out the front door. But you are left alone.
Dude, he's totally gonna
Oh. I'm not gonna metagame.
Yeah, just stop.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
Yeah, no, I realize that is not something Toby would do. That's what Gallus wanted to say to me, and then he, I guess I felt he had something else to do, and I will kneel and I will pray, and then after I will investigate the cloth, the lump. I'll lay it out on my bed, and I'm assuming it's wrapped up, and I'll unwrap it.
It is just kind of a wrapped bundle of cloth, and so as you set this bundle on your bed and kind of peel away this kind of silk cloth, look at Steve. You see before you a small medallion, very similar in size actually to kind of your token of Kellenvor that you wear on your wrist, but it's a thick stone medallion. Looks like rather weathered metal, not stone, but metal. And upon looking at it, it's beautiful, but it seems old. If your fingers touch it at all, you'll just notice kind of the aura around it is rather warm to the touch, and it's kind of heavy for its size. For something like a medallion emblem thing like this so small, it's like really got weight to it. It's like a full pound in your hand. It's adorned on both sides with an intricately engraved image of a sun that has seemingly been ripped apart down the middle. Ornate swirling linework spirals out from that sun in a chaotic and beautiful pattern, seamlessly transitioning into barely legible text around the rim of the medallion, a different inscription on each side of this disc-like token.
Can I read it?
This archaic celestial text reads, it reads, must a soul, both wild and true, bear thy forsaken quarter, lest anguish old and ire new compel them toward disorder.
If someone was writing that down and they needed to hear that one more time.
He's gonna paste it.
Yep.
She's gonna paste it.
Must a soul, both wild and true, bear thy forsaken quarter, lest anguish old cause ire new, compel them toward disorder.
I'm gonna take 10 minutes and ritually cast detect magic on it.
You're able to do so. Please make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay.
Good thing you didn't do this alone.
You're going to take double this because of your natural fail. You take 8 points of psychic damage as your mind is assaulted, unable to determine the school of magic this thing is enchanted with it, but this thing is very clearly magical, powerfully so. Even trying to probe it at all for information was damaging to your mind. So you're not able to, unfortunately, ascertain any sort of magical enchantment for this thing, but you sense that it definitely holds a powerful enchantment and can be attuned to. You just can't determine what it does without potentially attuning.
Yeah, not gonna do that tonight. It just hurt me a lot. I will fold it back up and I will put it in the same secure pocket that I keep my platinum coin in.
Okay. You can add, actually just add a custom item to your inventory called just medallion.
Okay.
When you someday, if ever, learn more about what this does, then you can add the actual D&D Beyond item to your inventory, which does exist, but you're just not sure what it does yet.
Cool.
But you have that in your possession, and then you go to sleep. Gallus has made it clear to all of you now, after the several days of downtime, that, again, Rebecca and Jokel are planning to rise early with Victoria Fawn and escort the very final people toward the ruins the following morning, whereas you guys should gather your things and prepare for a journey southward into the forest and wherever you want to go to next. Is there anything you all want to do on this final night of For's Hollow before you're all retiring and going to sleep?
Yes. We don't need to RP it more. I just selfishly, I wanted to stop by Jokel's to get an extra 10 gold piece worth of scrap metal just to take with me. But before I do that, I'm assuming he's there. I will track him down and just quick goodbyes, tell him thank you for the tools. I will probably, and I don't want to do it now, but I will show off what I made with it. Yeah, and hugs and goodbyes and all that fun stuff. And hey, can I have some extra scrap metal?
Yep. He is very delighted to see you. So glad you liked the gift. Is glad you made it back from the capital safely. Just very excited to see you. And then again, happily gives you another free 10 gold worth of metal scrap for your use in your ventures. And otherwise kind of casually plays off the departure and separation. Yeah, we'll see each other again, Red. No worries. It's been good to have you.
I'll be back.
And you guys, you absolutely make your way back to Nord Camp after that.
Go ahead,
I thought
Tim.
of one thing. I thought of two things Jerry has to do. He's got to go pay for the honey that Shadow Moby stole. So he'll go to the shop and like apologize and be like, it was
It was for science. Trust me, it was important.
Crumblebach or Crumbs, the goblin barkeep at Bullwinkle's pub that you guys have seen before, is very confused, but will take your gold and say, I would have lost all my stuff as we were packing it all up. I didn't even notice there was a jar missing, but thank you.
Do you have any more by any chance?
Yeah, we've got probably, let me open this crate. Pops it open. Roll a d4 for me. Yeah, I think I've got 2 more bottles of refined, well-made honey. It is a rather fine product, though. Can you afford 5 gold per bottle?
Yes, I can. Thank you. I need all the honey I can get. Well, actually, 3 is perfect. That's exactly how much I need. I need 1 for
Great.
each of my friends.
Very well, then. All right. Hey, you guys, be careful out there as you venture south.
Yes, and so how likely is this honey to attract giant bees? Like, very likely, or do you think, like, mildly likely?
I can't say I'm much of an apiculturist myself, but I don't even know if bees like honey. I think they probably just make it like it's a biological predetermined thing. I don't even know if they like honey. So I can't speak to whether it would attract them or not.
Oh, rest.
He's working on his doctorate.
If you have more questions about beekeeping and apiculture, you could certainly talk to the Vaughn family next time you're in Elandris, but they've got quite the meadery and grounds there. But
Well, I will do an experiment. I've learned about those from Roulette, and I will see if giant bees like honey.
I've learned about
Okay, goodbye,
experiments
Mr.
from
Goblin.
Roulette.
oh gosh, be careful. And we'll happily take, if you're willing, 15 gold for the total 3 jars of honey. Okay. A rather rare and careful product. Yep.
One last thing, I need to go return the book that I took from.
Yeah,
Somebody.
I think matriarch Victoria Fawn would have lent it to you.
Yes, I'm gonna bring
So
it
she
to her
will-
and just be like, give it back to her and be like,
Sorry, it wasn't helpful at all. I'm still cursed, but we appreciate you lending it to me.
Very well. Oh, thank you for returning it. We will happily take it with us, especially since it's something to remember Lady Moreau by. We'll take it to the ruins and keep it safe there.
Okay, here it is. Oh, almost dropped it. Here you go.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Chaos.
We'll happily take it.
Okay,
Is that it?
We're
Is
out.
that it for Judy?
we're leaving. Goodbye.
Very well. Journey safe. Telperion, was there something you were hoping to do as well?
Scour Nora camp for some javelins.
Similarly to how Roulette was available to get some free metal scrap, you can add 1d4 javelins for free to your inventory.
Yay!
Roll
and,
3.
and Jiri, you can totally add 3 jars of honey to your inventory. as well.
4.
Well, very
4.
nice.
You get 4 javelins that Jokel had not, already dispersed amongst the populace weaponry wise. He had 4 left, so you can take all those.
honey goes in Roulette's bag, by the way.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
I guess just before we head out in the wilds, I'll have stopped by Ira's to buy another, if he has it, 25 gold worth of a potion, like water.
Oh,
or whatever.
sure, like alchemical components that have like
Yeah.
sufficient
So
magical
I could
looking
make
unit.
one potion with it.
You can absolutely do that. Go ahead and just mark out 25 gold, and you can add to your inventory, alchemical purchase or magical
Cool.
alchemical supplies, etc.
We'll say alchemical water.
Perfect. Are you guys that it? Is everyone ready to go to sleep at this point then? On the final night, ready to head out in the morning?
Indeed.
Okay.
Switch the music.
As you guys go to sleep, Telperion, please roll a d4 for me. Higher is better for you in this situation.
I just rolled a 4. Odds are I won't do that again, right? I rolled a 2.
2 hours after you all bed down for the night, either trancing or going to sleep, Toby Rama, you feel a hand grasp your chest and shake you awake. Toby, get up. Get up, Tobe. Quickly.
Right. Yeah. Who is it?
Gallus.
Okay.
I need you to wake up the other 3. Gather your things immediately. He places a very firm hand on your shoulder, very firm, looks emphatically in your eyes and says, Duress is here. There may be a half mile away, approaching the gates.
All right,
I've already woken up Rebecca. She and Joe Keller headed to gather the last remaining townsfolk so they can escape into the woods near Boris's farm. The 5 of us need to make our way to the training grounds and slip into the woods from there. Better that we separate from the rest of the townsfolk, harder for Duress to track.
Of course. I'd spring too.
Okay, I'm going to go get a better vantage of things from this situation at the training grounds. When you 4 have your things ready, meet me there as quickly as possible. Looks like we're headed in the forest a few hours sooner than expected.
The only thing Toby didn't have packed was his Kellamvor idol of this kind of stone-worked set of scales, and he'll hastily toss that into his pack and go bang on roulette store first.
And Gallus makes his way out to the training camp grounds to get a better vantage and leaves you guys to meet him later.
Roulette, Alfie, you guys in there?
Alfie opens the door with one hand and pokes me with the other one to wake me up.
Jeez.
We leaving?
Duress, now we gotta go. And
Shit.
I go to the next door and tell Pyrian and then Jiri. Similar thing.
I feel like I'm already getting ready, having been in a light trance.
Yep, perfect. Yeah, it doesn't take much to shake you awake, but definitely you were not able to complete a full trance in only 2 hours. But definitely all of you had enough, like you weren't spent resource-wise for the day, but definitely not a full rest has just happened or anything. But you're able to shake awake, tell Pyrian and Jiri.
All right. I'll get my stuff on.
To the training grounds. We gotta go.
Okay.
No time to waste.
All right. Do you guys all get together, gather, and exit the camp and start heading up to the training grounds? Okay. As you all quietly, but hurriedly make your way out of Nor Camp and up the lightly wooded dirt hill path toward the training grounds south of the fort, everyone please make a perception check for me.
Mediocre 10. Oh my god.
Telperion 10, Roulette 15, Jiri 19, and a 10. Toby not yet.
You said perception?
Yes.
Double ones.
As you guys are hurriedly, Telperion, your mind is fixed on the goal at hand, is to make your way and go meet Gallus at the training ground. So you're not really surveying your backdrop very much. Toby Ramen, maybe you're just like your heart rate's too elevated, worried about, okay, we got to get out of here. Roulette, looking back north, kind of as you guys are making your way up this hill, kind of looking back over your shoulder, you see a large dark pattern across the against the grasslands outside of town. This form is kind of shifting and moving toward the town. Small dots of burning torches far off, reflecting light of the armored forms of soldiers. Estimating from this distance, there could easily be several hundred figures forming this legion that is marching toward the town, a few hundred yards away now from the gate. Jiri, you notice the same thing, that looking over, you can see the forms of potential soldiers, like glints of metal, torch lights, small but far off, approaching the gates. What you also hear, Jiri, though, is you hear kind of a clashing of steel ring out from ahead of you, further up the hill, and the familiar grunts of a man that sounds a lot like Gallus. As you all continue and sort of crest the hill, is there anything you're wanting to say or do?
Oh, I was gonna RP that Jiri
is like, oh wait, I forgot to lock my door. Hold on. And then I like turn around to go back, but then I see all that stuff and was like, oh, relax. We gotta get going. They're here.
Could during this run and during roulette, obviously not me pointing out all the soldiers, I would like to cast aid on us.
You are welcome to do so. Spending a second level spell slot for aid.
Everyone's max HP and current HP goes up by 5.
Hot.
As you all continue and crest up this hill, the familiar training grounds comes into view, and you see a duel taking place between two figures.
Oh god.
The familiar form of Gallus, locked in combat with an unfortunately familiar figure. A tall knight wearing gleaming bright armor, chrome-like in its highly reflective appearance, refracting the light of the moon overhead into all directions. They wield a bright greatsword that they're wielding in one hand, of similar reflective sheen to the armor, although it trails a subtle glow of amber-colored daylight in its wake as it moves through the night air. Telperion, a moment of clarity hits you as you see this sword again in the Arc Knight's hand. This is not just the sword you saw at Prison Palace, but something familiar from the painting in the Alealor ruins struck you and you couldn't place it. That figure was wielding this sword. And so it reminds you of that trancing meditation. The Arc Knight, a Talon of Daenor, right hand to the Durastian King Zavar, speaks out ahead of you, 100 yards or so away, amidst his conflict with Gallus.
You've fallen far from what you once were, as I feared.
So it is you, then. I suspected as much from your fighting style at the palace. Why do you come to this place? And do you really think you can defeat me, the one who taught you how to fight?
I wish to resolve some feelings from 2 decades ago. Imagine my surprise to see you alive at the capital, and so close to the Queen, no less. I admit, it took a number of days to track you here, but when I got close, what did I see but my old cloak affixed to the top of this mast beckoning me here?
The knight flourishes his sword and takes a very relaxed and confident fighting stance.
And I know much more now than you could have ever taught me, Master. Come, Noah, Talon of Daenor. Let us see who the goddess deems fit to continue walking this world.
I could apologize for the past, but if you do not wish to resolve this peacefully, then I suppose I have no choice. Come, boy. Let's see what you have learned. Gallus rushes forward with his axe, and the Arc Knight steps to meet his blade. You all, seemingly unnoticed in this very particular moment, keeping a low profile in your rival so far, is there anything you would like to do in the next several seconds?
What sort of a range are we at from this encounter happening?
I would see seeing this and being able to hear it, you're probably, let me say, 60 feet away at this point.
I'd like to take a quick extra step or two forward, and I'm going to do Shield of Faith on Gallus.
Okay, give me one moment. I need to do this. Okay. As I move you to this screen, you see, once again, familiar to you all, in the same armor and sword, you see the form of the Arc Knight, heavily armored, wielding,
so
wielding a beautiful reflective sword that seems to be trailing daylight in its wake as it moves. You all appear roughly where I have you positioned, roughly 60 feet away. Okay, so Toby Rama, your first move, you each are going to get one opportunity to essentially take a turn before initiative kicks off. So Toby, you're going first. You're moving forward and casting Shield of Faith.
Like there, so that I can then successfully, do my Shield of Faith on him.
You run forward, reaching out with your divine magics, casting Shield of Faith. It triggers. What are the rest of you doing? All kind of simultaneously at the same moment.
I'm gonna move in 30 feet.
Okay. Feel free to move yourself in the direction you want.
What was the color, or like what was the cloak that was?
It was like
affixed
a-
to the mask
it was like a
that it would look like?
Burgundy maroon that was like tattered. It clearly was some old cloak that had been pinned up there, affixed to the top of the mast as a makeshift flag.
Critter, just a quick question. The thing that Telperion is standing right in front of, is that like a tall wall
Like,
or just like a...
It's like a training, like almost like a pommel horse thing that gymnasts would do, but it's like got various things on it. It's like a 5 foot high blockade.
Okay.
That stretches the length of that.
You can get over it. Okay.
You can jump over it easily, yeah.
I took my turn to move, but can I also fling a javelin?
You can absolutely fling a javelin.
I'm gonna fling a javelin at the Archnight's head.
Okay, fling a javelin at the Archnight's head. Roll it with advantage since he has not yet noticed you. All these effects are going to simultaneously happen before he regards you, essentially.
13 plus 6, 19.
Let me do this. 19 flies dead straight, impacts his armor, and limply drops to the ground, not having punctured it at all.
What was that, 19?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay. Jiri, were you dashing to get that far?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to like sneak around from behind him and dash around the wall there.
Okay. Perfect. Roulette?
Alfie and I are going to run up, and I'm just going to say, because like if Telperion and I were going at the same time, I don't know if I want to do it. No, because I'm going to do fire. I can do both. I can do a cantrip and a spell, right?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
First thing I'm gonna do, you're gonna see me reach into my bag, and I'm gonna pull out a sphere that's about like 6 inches in diameter, and it's just gonna...
I gotta add a D4 to my javelin. Sorry, forgot we're blessed.
You are not blessed.
Aided?
You were given aid.
I'm so sorry.
HP. Yeah.
You're gonna see a little tiny sphere come out, so it's 6 inches in diameter. Looks very similar to Alfie, but it's black instead of bronze, and it's gonna just like clip onto my shoulder. Doesn't do anything right now.
That would be potentially your action to retrieve and affix this.
Sure. I'll do that. And then as my
actually,
bonus
that's probably. I'm sorry. That's probably a free. No, it would be free to draw something as part of your movement, but to fish something out of your bag, it is going to be an action.
Yeah. So I'm just having it there. And then as my bonus action, I will have Alfie poke up over this thing and do 1 charge of magic missiles from the wand.
Perfect. The magic missiles spiral out again and all aim toward the Arcanite. Roll damage.
8.
You definitely see them blast into his form, and then they seem to just like kind of like they automatically hit, but they still like the magic aura kind of sprays off past him as they impact. Ugh. You're not sure how much impact they truly had or not.
That's my turn.
Okay. As all of you guys just did this, the Arcanite finally turns to regard you.
Did Jiri do anything in all that?
Jiri dashed, but I guess he has his bonus action available. But
oh yeah, I'm gonna curse him with my bonus action. That wolf howls at him quietly though. Nice little quiet growl.
Okay. But you mark that as your current target for your mad wolf curse. Yes. Now, as you guys all just did that, the Arcanite regards you.
Foolish dogs, do not interrupt.
With a sweep of his hand as his action, and muttering an arcane phrase, the Arcanite spins with an outstretched gauntlet, and a streak of flame flashes out from his hand. A 20-foot tall wall of fire circles around both he and Gallus, separating their duel from all of you.
Oh!
If only.
You knew that was going to happen.
Whoa.
I'm concentrating so hard on my spell I cast.
I'm sorry, I need to do loop so that it always keeps going.
Yo.
Oh.
So he
Yeah.
does that, and then in a surge of action, he rips a crystalline amulet from his plated collar and crushes it in his hand before tossing the debris and the dust within through the fire. The flames writhe and shift and grow, and out of the flames emerge two translucent crimson clawed legs wreathed in flame. Then a snarling maw of a draconic-like spirit slowly emerges from the fire and spreads its flame-form wings. Looking something like that, emerging from the flame.
Oh,
As
holy shit.
I make this available.
Keep them occupied and away from our duel.
Now, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
This is so fucking sexy. Let's go, Tell.
He did it.
I need to send this to back, so that's easier for me to pick him. So we'll take a second here setting up the encounter.
Woo! Look at those initiatives.
Get
Ah.
fucked.
When you change this, do you do the
Thought
HP
he was
color?
so
I didn't
cool.
change it. I'm just making fun of it. Actually, that's probably that is the correct way to do
Can't
it.
even go first.
You are correct, Michael.
Yeah, because the other one would just change it altogether.
And the other green will show. Well, yeah.
All right, we've got Jiri. We've got that draconic flame spirit. Roulette, what's your dex?
+2, 14.
It moves before you do.
Rude.
All right, I think things are set up there. Here's a up and close vision of this thing, but that other image is like more representative of the literal art, but this is, it coils, it's long, serpentine, but has claws and just all made of fire. Jiri, it is your turn.
All right. Jiri whips out his decanter of water and he says, "Looks like you need to cool down there, Mr. Fire Snake." And he's gonna blast it.
Great quip. Great quip.
Let me see where you are. Okay, perfect. So you're aiming your decanter at the form of the flame, the draconic flame spirit?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What does it need to do here?
Let me remind myself. Where is it? Okay, so it has to succeed on a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Dang.
Which it does.
Fuck.
It does succeed, although does it still take some bludgeoning damage?
Something has to happen if it succeeds.
No, nothing happens. I'm pretty sure if it succeeds.
Okay, so first of all, what action command word did you use for this? Was this the pushback
hydro
one?
pump.
Okay, so does it say in the item how many gallons of water are used for that?
Yes, 30 gallons of water.
30 gallons. It will take 30 points. Oh, but it's reduced. What would be 30 points of cold damage is reduced to 15, but it does take damage from that.
Yes. Jiri has the answer.
And it recoils in pain as you see steam emanating from where your water splashed on it, but its roar just sounds like roaring flame. This thing is fire, just in the form of this beast.
And that's it. That's all Jerry can do.
Okay. Switch up the music here for a little more combat heavy.
Yes.
Okay, that's it for Jiri. Telperion, what's next for you?
I am going to get up in its business.
Okay.
Swing my alien
Some difficult terrain to kind of vault over that thing, but you're absolutely able to get into its melee range.
Okay. And then with my black longsword, I will swing at it.
Okay. Roll to hit.
I can not roll good tonight. 9 plus 6. 15 to hit.
15 to hit. You cleave right where you know its form is, and the flames just curl around your blade as if they're just fire. You did not make contact with any sort of form of this creature on that strike.
All right. I guess I'm just gonna try to push it back away from me with my bonus action.
Perfect. Is that a strength save on its part?
Yeah, 12 has to beat. All right, I sit there and I menace at it.
Okay, so you swipe at it, you push it, and it's just like, this thing is like not like any physical creature you've ever fought. This is like kind of feeling almost air elemental-ish in terms of like there's no physical corporeal thing to hit here, so it's frustrating to a martial fighter like yourself. That will make it its turn. Seeing Telperion rush toward it, limply striking at it, it is going to use its multi-attack to make 3 claw flame rend attacks at you.
Oh my god. Spiky fire.
Bring it, dragon.
I will acknowledge that a bit of math here is wrong. The modifier for this creature is not plus 13, it's plus 8. So I'm going to roll these 3 times, but we're going to subtract 5 from each of these rolls.
Okay.
So 1, 2,
Second hits.
3.
Oh,
Okay. So 19 does not hit. So as you see it roiling up to claw you, you put up your shield, and weirdly you feel resistance as if something physical just hit your shield, but you dodged out of that blow. The next 2 hits definitely do hit you. Dealing 19 slashing and 5 fire on the first hit. So a total of 24 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
And on the second hit, dealing
39 and 14.
a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Is this going to put you unconscious? Or is there any amount of...
It's more than 24, so...
Well, I'm going to...
It has to be more than the maximum HP.
I think it's going to be...
total. 41 total.
17, 21...
We get 5 from 8, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's your max HP, not temp.
Yeah.
I think it's doing 34 total on this attack.
On the second one?
Yeah.
So that's
critically striking you.
58 total damage.
In 2 strikes.
I block 6 of that.
Total.
Okay. So you block 6 of it, and hopefully your additional health was also valuable to you. Are you knocked unconscious from this strike?
Yeah, still 52. I had 41 total.
Okay, so you are knocked out of these 2 attacks. You are knocked unconscious by this beast. We did do -5 on those, right? Yeah. Okay, so even the 27 would have still hit you. So okay, cool. So that is it. It's multi-attack. Roulette, is your turn.
Oh, I see Telperion just like fall behind this thing.
Just eviscerated.
And I can see this big dragon.
Can I react and say...
I've never been knocked unconscious this campaign.
I'm going to react and say, I've got Telperion. Take that thing out.
It's going to cost your reaction, but yes.
Take it out.
I was going to help Telperion. Okay. Sure. First thing that happens, and this is not an action or a bonus action or anything, because it happens on my initiative count with my little familiar, a set of 4 wings that look very similar to like dragonfly wings, but mixed with wasp wings, are going to sprout out from the side of the miniature looking Alfie. They're going to start buzzing, and he's going to fly. The wall is 20 feet high, right?
No, 5 feet high. It's just as long as it looks on screen, but it's only 5 feet high to vault over this thing. It's like kind of difficult terrain.
Perfect. It's going to fly over to here and hover like 15 feet above Gallus. It's not doing anything.
So to get over the wall of fire, it does need to get over 20 feet high. I'm sorry. When you said 20 feet, I thought you were talking about this thing, like this pommel system. But yes, the wall of fire, is 20 feet high.
So then it's going to get to like here. If I can't click. Hold on. It's going to get to like here.
Okay.
And just be floating right above the wall of fire.
Okay,
like
perfect.
30 feet in the air or something like that. It's not doing
Deal.
anything.
Got it.
I am going to I'm gonna walk up to here. Oh god. And as my action, I'm just gonna like swing over this wall at this thing from 10 feet away.
Perfect. You are still able to successfully, it's within your reach. So go ahead and roll an attack.
Jesus, actions. Gee, wow. Yeah, that's what 10.
Similar to how you saw Telperion just whiff through this thing, your chain extends and it does pass through the form of this thing, but not making contact with whatever its core is that is able to hit it. So you miss.
I'm gonna move another 5 feet, 10 feet this way, and I'm just gonna like take cover up against the wall opposite that thing.
Okay.
Bonus action.
You absolutely do get up to 3/4 cover, maybe depending on its movement. But yeah.
Bonus action. I'm gonna have Alfie just like climb up on the wall over here, and another magic missile at the dragon this time.
Okay, perfect. Roll it.
Be high. Okay, 10.
The missiles of force damage absolutely automatically detonate from within this creature, definitely dealing 10 damage.
And I'm gonna have him pop back down, taking cover as well. And that is my turn.
Okay. Toby Rama.
All right. To start, wing. No, they don't. Never mind. That was on that thought, so they don't go out. I run. 2, 1, 2, 3, boom. And from here, I will upcast Cure Wounds on Telperion, automatically healing him 20 hit points.
That is correct.
Don't even have to roll for it. I do the max.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
At 0.
Grave Clerics, man.
Oh, because I'm unconscious?
Yeah, because when Grave Clerics heal an unconscious person, they automatically do max healing.
Hot.
Of that spell's ability. So yes, Telperion, you are restored to 20 hit points.
Thank you.
That is your action.
And that is my... Okay, how much was that? That was... here. 20 feet. I'll just go another... like, right there. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. It will be Gallus's turn. Gallus rushes in toward the Arc Knight. As my encounter builder fades away from me and I need to reload it. Making two, with his multi-tack, making 2 hand axe attacks at the knight. First and second.
One of those for sure. We don't know what happens.
If a 25 doesn't hit.
Very, very good strikes. Both of them, an expert. Like, you've never seen Gallus even move like this. The technique he's using with his axe is like nothing you've seen from him in his combat so far. He strikes twice in very quick succession with this 2-handed axe he's wielding. Both of them, although making contact with the Arc Knight, bang, bang, limply bouncing off the Arc Knight's armor.
Which we probably don't see.
You just hear the clash of steel through flames. You can, like, every once in a while see these 2 figures dueling through, like, the whispering of flames as they flicker and stuff. But functionally, it's hard to target people through that because it's technically considered an opaque wall. But the movement of flame allows you to get bits and pieces of visual on them. The Arc Knight responds in kind.
Gallus has +2 to AC.
Making a single attack with his great sword after just not even defending himself from Gallus's. Gallus does have +2 to AC. Whoa, that's so weird. These things flipped on me. Hang on 1 second. All my stuff flipped. That doesn't make any sense.
Tim looks like a Sith right now.
It's true.
Dude, D&D
Thank you.
Beyond just really fucked up my encounter here. Here we go. I had
The
to reload.
archetypes.
So this is his true greatsword attack.
Sure.
He has a +13 modifier, not a 7, is what I wanted to emphasize. With a single blow,
Nice.
with a horizontal slice, he cuts Gallus across the chest, and Gallus is flown like 5 feet back. I should adjust them because they are engaged in melee with each other functionally during this duel. But he cuts at Gallus, and then he says, he actually tosses his greatsword. After that attack, he tosses his greatsword to the ground. Use this sword.
Use this sword. Your axe appears useless, not befitting someone of your stature, a Talon.
That's not who I am anymore. A name and title I discarded long ago. Once I realized Zavar's true nature. Seems you've chosen to disregard your principles. He picks his axe up and attempts to, lunge back at the knight for their next turns of dueling. That is both of their turns. Jiri, it is back to you.
Oh gosh, Jiri's got to be brave. He's gonna pull his drawstring on his for his armor, filling it up with air, and he's just gonna run and try to get this thing's attention. And he's like, "I'll cover you, Telperion." And he's just gonna run up to it and be like,
Flanking?
In that position, yes.
Because it's a 2x2.
But I can't do any attacks on it, so I'm just gonna splash
Anything with your
water
bonus
at it.
action?
Nothing. I don't have any bonus actions, but maybe I'll like shake the water at him.
I don't want to force
Menacingly.
you. I definitely don't want to force you to do this. Just as a reminder, since I haven't seen you use them yet, you do have 2 bracers on your arms that could afford you a bonus action if you want to use them.
Can they? Are they bonus actions?
I think it's a free interaction to trigger them, and then they do have they have a bonus action thing they can do, an action thing they can do, a reaction thing they can do.
Oh, nice. I didn't realize you could use them without using your action. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
you had
will he'll clink them together and
Wonder Woman
do a
style.
double.
Yes.
a
Yep. So 2 translucent blue kind of arms like Machamp around you.
Yes.
Yeah, like air arms. I'm imagining them. They look like
Yep.
and double punch. Pow, pow, pow.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it with advantage because of your position.
1d4.
And it does grant you. I think it uses a
efficiency
charge
bonus.
from these gauntlets, but you can do 2 strikes with this.
So that would be. Oh man, I've never rolled this. Sorry, I don't have it set up. So that would be.
Well, I think in the item you might be able to use it, but
No,
maybe
but the
not.
attack is based off of my unarmed strike, right? Which is
I don't recall. It should all be
+7.
listed in your inventory.
There's one. There's the other arm.
You get advantage on these attacks because of your positioning. So we'll consider that those 2 rolls were for the first punch and for the second punch.
17.
Both a 25 and a 17 do make impact with whatever loose form is this creature. And it's weird, but these punches definitely impact it with enough force that you feel like it definitely took damage from that. It's roaring and flaming in recoil from that. So how much damage is that total?
Just 7.
Okay, 7 total damage. Got it. Perfect. That it for Jiri?
But yeah. Yep, Jiri just trying to get this thing to turn its attention towards him as best he
Perfect. All right. Telperion, you have been revived by some kind of magical aid and it's your turn.
All right. I have something I really want to do, and you have to tell me if I can.
I'm gonna use my reaction first, really quick, to shout something. Telperion, I can help your sword if you hold, but he might hit you. I don't know. It's up to you.
You can help my sword?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say it again?
I can strengthen your sword that you're swinging with.
Oh, okay.
If you want to wait, he might attack you and kill you again.
Would I can I have noticed what was going on in the circle?
You can make a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Is this my action?
No, since it's disadvantage, this is just a glimpse of the surroundings.
7.
Okay, yeah, no, you definitely see both the Gallus and the Argonite in that space, but it's too hard with the flames in front of you to tell what's really going on in there.
Yeah, so I can't telekinesis the sword to me. I will bonus action with my ring. I'm gonna have my ring inject the tea into my veins.
Okay. Okay. As a bonus action, you prick yourself with the ring. That's a specific amount of healing and temp hit points, isn't it?
Exactly. It's 1d6 plus 2, and then I will gain the same amount as temp hit points, and I can't be charmed or frightened for an hour.
Perfect. Roll it.
I rolled a 4, 5, 6, so I gain 12 HP.
Yes. Did it say you gain that additional as temps, because it's really you gain 6 HP and you have 6 temps?
Yes, I was
not that
that's
that's that. Yeah, not that that's that critical, but
26. Okay, yeah. So I'm at 26 full plus 6 temp, and then I'm going
bonus action.
Yeah, it's my bonus action, and then with my half my movement, I'll stand up, and then I will swing my alien sword at this thing again with advantage because of Fury.
Yes, correct.
Okay. 18 plus 6, 24.
Absolutely hits. Roll damage.
All right, and so I'm definitely gonna put a psionic strike into that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll a d8 and a d6, and then I'll add 6. No, I'll add 8 to the total of this.
Separate it out for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Regular
so my
versus
sword
force.
does 6 plus another 6. So my sword does 12.
Okay, so your sword carves into it, and you do feel you're impacting a form, but it does pass through it still too quickly, and you suspect your inert non-magical blade is not doing full damage to this creature. But your force damage,
So Period mutters, "Fucking sword," and then I will put my psionic energy on this. I rolled another 4, so 6 force damage.
Perfect. That detonation of force from within just looks just like the magic missile at that point, and absolutely deals damage there. Again, it recoils in snarling flame.
What are you doing?
You just put it down. I'm trying. I didn't know you were trying.
That it for Tel? Is that it for Telperion?
Little dude wants lunch. Debating using action surge. Gonna action surge while I have advantage.
Okay. Go
I can
for
only
it.
do my psionic strike once a turn, though.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I'll just do it anyway. Another 18.
Does hit. Again, the kind of frustrating kind of resistance that you're not fully meeting, but it still does damage. So
rolled an 8 damage on my swing plus 6, so 14.
14 half to 7. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's all.
The flames seem angry. Perfect. That it for you?
Yeah.
It is its turn again. This draconic flame spirit. It is going to make first attack at Telperion to its left, second attack at Jiri to its right, and then it's going to breathe fire toward Roulette. First attack, which I need to reload this thing again because D&D Beyond's really fucking up.
Yeah.
It's not storing the right modifiers and stuff in here. Here we go. Okay, so attack on Telperion first. Attack on Jiri second. And then I need Roulette to make a DC, well, I'm not going to tell you the DC, but a dexterity saving throw. So Telperion, it does not hit you. Jiri, it does hit you for that and that. Kind of minimal damage, but Jiri, you are potentially going to take up to 10 damage unless you have other stuff going on.
It claws right through the entirety of my puffy armor, ripping the whole thing open, and all the steam gushes out at it.
I
The
will shield
steam.
you
Oh, okay. Yep.
so it doesn't eat all of it.
Oh, okay. Perfect. You're absolutely able to shield. So how much damage, 10 hit points are you saving?
7. You're saved from 7 of that.
So only 3.
Ooh, nice.
You do notice, Jiri, unfortunately, as your steam gushes into this creature, it just passes through harmlessly into the form of this flame
It's definitely gonna
spirit.
be immune to fire. That makes
I
sense.
just wasted that.
You said, well, yeah.
It's still temporary hit points.
Yeah, it's
useful
still
for-
you still saved in temps. So, and then Roulette, did you make a dex save for me?
7.
As this thing reaches its maw toward you and issues fire breath, you take 8 fire damage,
Way worse.
and it stays in its space. Roulette, your turn.
What? Sorry, I took 8 there.
Yep,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Shit, I'll give you more if you want.
1, 2. I'm gonna start running towards Telperion, but as I'm running, I'm just gonna make another like flail swing at this thing.
Perfect. Roll it.
19.
Love it.
19 absolutely hits, and seeing some of Telperion's strikes actually make purchase with thing, maybe that emboldened you, but this thing clobbers it and you don't feel like it's passing through it even. You felt like that your magical weapon just actually impacted this creature.
11.
11 bludgeoning damage. It's not happy.
3, and then I'll 4, 5 up to here. And I'm like belly over this little pommel horse, reaching out and grabbing the back of Telperion's sword. Telperion, get over here! And I'm gonna bonus action cast Arcane Weapon on his sword, and you'll have lightning just crackle all the way up through your sword. Maybe the next time, maybe the next hit will shock him.
Should have saved my action surge.
Imbuing his weapon with lightning, and I want to. Oh, that's not on there. It's on here. I kind of want to see one more thing about that.
So it's 1d6 lightning when it hits.
Sure. I also want to just. It also becomes a magic weapon for the spell's duration. So
Yes.
not only is it imbued with lightning, it is also considered magical now.
That's so
that is Roulette's turn, unless you have anything else.
And then, how far is that? 35. Yeah, I'm just gonna have Alfie run all the way up here.
Okay.
Here. And I'm gonna just stick down here, hiding against the thing again.
Just to be a nuisance, you did use your bonus action to do the arcane weapon. Are you issuing Alfie a new command with your bonus action, or he's doing some predetermined command?
So Alfie can move. He can move.
He just won't take an action unless you command.
He doesn't do any action. He takes
Perfect.
dodge by default. He can move regardless of whatever I do.
Beautiful.
And he's just moving up there. Yeah.
Perfect. That it for Roulette?
That's my turn.
Beautiful. Toby Rama.
I throw an extra healing word at Telperion at first level for
Okay.
8
Thank you. Roll it.
healing.
Wow. Thank you.
Nice.
As healing word is 60 feet, like I thought. Okay. As my wings sprout out, and I'm gonna fly 30 feet straight in the air.
Action.
Gallus.
Leaping up into the air. Beautiful. Okay, your wings
That's all of my turn.
are conjured and you're 30 feet up in the air. Got it. Gallus. 2 more attacks. God. Beyond D&D Beyond is killing me today.
What is he? +7, I think.
Yep. He makes 2 more attacks toward the Arc Knight.
Oh,
It's in that 20.
with a weapon.
Natural 20.
I don't think it can hurt him. It's not magic.
He misses his second strike, which we're going to say happens first. He misses one, but then as the Arc Knight kind of parries that to the side, Gallus whips it around and goes for kind of the neck pauldron area. Bing! Bounces right off. Even his critical, useless against that armor. of whatever gleaming, reflective, chrome-like armor this Arcanite is wearing. The Arcanite's not even dodging it. It's just bouncing off that armor. With Gallus's relatively simple weapon, inert, non-magical. And then it is, again, the Arcanite's turn. Which I have to reload again because this is being stupid. A great sword attack.
Fuck.
31 to hit for another 23 slashing damage. You're seeing daylight, like a small subtle aura. If you guys are seeing it, Toby Rami, you probably have a good view of it. Just like this aura just trailing off, this amber colored daylight trailing off the sword as he's cleaving through Gallus. That is his turn. Jiri, back to you.
All right. Jiri is gonna start doing some punches on this thing. A lefty and a righty. And, or no, he can't use both.
Also, just a small clarification. I'm rolling with the Arcanite's greatsword, but his, I shouldn't have
5.
I should not have. No, it's truly a plus 13.
Right,
the flame spirit was that adjustment. Gallus, I shouldn't have described the daylight trailing off his blade because his current greatsword is in the ground, offered to Gallus to use. He is now using a separate longsword he drew from his side, but he's still dealing damage, but it is less damage than I'm showing here. Anyway, just.
Oh no, it has to be wielded with 2 hands.
Gave me time to change my mind. Jiri is gonna say, Mr. Mad Wolf, we could use your help a little bit here. Can you make me a little bit faster? And Jiri's eyes are gonna glow red a little bit, and he is gonna just use the spectral arms to punch instead of him actually punching. But you can see he's like moving a little bit faster now.
Action triggering some aid from Jax, and then bonus action, go ahead and roll your attacks with advantage per your flanking.
ADV.
Okay. 13.
First strike, just punching into the flame with
You're
no
rolling
effect.
with advantage because I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. The second attack, though, does punch some weird translucent form of this draconic spirit. Go ahead and roll damage for the second hit.
For 6 damage.
Perfect.
And again,
awesome.
Jiri's hopping around, like being like, "Come over here, Fire Snake."
Got it. Telperion, your turn.
I'm still not noticing what's going on in there.
You can make another perception check with disadvantage if you keep like glancing over at the start of your turn into the flames.
Yeah. Oh, 13.
13's enough to see that the Arcanite is not wielding his current sword.
But do I see where the sword that I noticed earlier is?
I don't think you see where the position of it is. You just notice that he's wielding like a simpler longsword now.
Okay, which makes me sad. Okay, I'm gonna attack.
Okay.
This magical weapon that my friend gave me
with advantage.
And I rolled a nat 20.
Holy shit! Okay, roll damage. None of it is resisted. You're feeling like more resistance as you cleave through the true form of this creature.
He's literally crying. He's finally using a magic weapon. Has 3 fights. His weapons have been resisted.
That lightning damage is going to get doubled too.
It is. Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm rolling 2d8, and that'll be plus 6 for my actual regular sword.
Okay.
And 2d6 for the lightning.
Yeah. And then 2d6 for the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So for the 2d8 for my sword, I rolled 2 2s. So I rolled 4 plus 6. So that's 10 damage for the sword. And then lightning comes off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled a 6 and a 1.
Okay, another 7
So
lightning
17.
damage. You notice as the lightning crackles through its form, it does find purchase and damage it, but it also like crackles and dissipates outside its form. This being also resisting some lightning damage.
And then I will psionic strike it as well and double that.
Which is doubled, yep.
4 and a 5, so that's 9, 10, 11 force damage.
That's sexy.
This thing is definitely very injured from that blow. You see like almost a small detonation of flame as it like loosens its form and then coalesces again back into its form, reeling in pain, screaming in flame sounds. But you absolutely did a very good hit on that one.
Thank you. So then I'm going to use my psionic recovery, kind of close my eyes for a sec, recover, and gain back the one of my psionic energy die.
Okay, perfect.
That's my turn.
Okay. Draconic Flame Spirit's turn. Jiri, you have successfully drawn the attention of this creature, and it is going to make two flame rend attacks at you.
With disadvantage.
That is true.
What element I could get with him? I think it probably is better.
Fun. I don't know what you...
That is the first hit, and then the second hit.
What is it?
Rats.
17 and 23. Okay, they both hit. Some of your puffy form probably preventing some of the damage, but you are going to take a total of 9 and the 13, 22 mixture of slashing and fire damage, but 22 damage.
Ow.
And then after it slashes you twice, it turns around to the other 3 and spews a 30-foot cone of flame at Telperion, Roulette, and Toby Rama.
How big is this thing, tall-wise?
I'm 30 feet in the air. If
10 feet high, 10 feet wide. You know. Oh, you're right, Toby Rama. It is not going to be able to reach you, so it's only the 2 on the ground.
And I'm assuming the barrier doesn't really help because it's down.
Not from its angle. Yeah, no.
Dex save.
Dex save from both of you, Telperion and Roulette.
This die has fucked me this whole day.
Did I roll a 1?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
7.
Both of you fail, taking 16 fire damage.
Hot.
And that is its turn. Roulette, you are up.
Oh God. I'm gonna shake off the singed shit. Standing here. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to hold my attack until Alfie is in flanking position with me. And I want to have him go here. Is he in the flame wall?
Just outside of it. Very close, dangerously close, but he is not in jeopardy of flames assaulting his form.
Perfect. Is he flanking with me? Because I have reach.
Yes. Loosely, but yes.
You can say no.
No, it's enough.
Okay.
Because of your reach, just is kind of unique, but yes.
Bonus action while he's going over there, he's gonna spit another wand of magic missiles into this thing.
Okay.
8 charges.
I have 7 charges total. This is the third one I'm using. Oh, Jesus. 8 damage.
8 damage. Got it. Detonations of force detonate from inside of it.
And then I will swing with advantage, graciously granted by the DM.
20 hits. With your
20
magical weapon, you're
hits.
definitely ready to deal some damage here.
And 12 bludgeoning.
Definitely damages it. You're seeing this thing get looser and looser. The flames struggling to maintain composure and coalescing into this creature. You imagine whatever this is might be pretty close to being ripped apart.
And I'm gonna have the little fluttering Alfie. It's gonna hover just directly over the middle of that ring, but like 50 feet in the air.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Perfect. Toby.
As I take a little flight forward, but then 10 down, so I'm on a level with the flame wall. Still being able to see over it or peeking over.
Mm-hmm.
going to cast Blindness on the Arcanite.
Okay, what is that on his part?
It's a Constitution save, which he's going to be so good at, but I'm praying.
Let me do this.
It's a Constitution save.
It's not just a Constitution save. It's a Constitution save at advantage.
Oh,
5, yeah, okay. It fails
Damn.
to grasp hold. You rolled a 1. Oh!
You send a bright flash of light his way, and he almost like just doesn't even flinch. He just continues his duel with Gallus. Then both clashing blades separating, clashing again, etc.
Feeling how hot the wall is, I'll move away. I moved 15, so I'll move back there.
Okay.
It's my turn.
Still roughly 20 feet in the air.
Yes.
Okay. That is your turn. Gallus will make 2 more attacks. Man, D&D Beyond is struggling today. I got to refresh anytime I want to do anything.
Is it
Two
Roll
more
20 or
attacks from
D&D
him?
Beyond?
It's D&D Beyond.
oh.
Its interface is just struggling.
I don't even know why he's rolling.
He rolls again, almost making contact, but a uppercut, unarmed strike from the knight just kind of sends him back before he makes another attack, successfully striking but glancing off the armor of this knight, unable to do anything. He sees you, Toby, kind of up in his peripherals, uses his bonus action to say, "Toby, get out of here. Do what you guys can. Escape." Not truly commanding you to do anything, but using the familiar action economy he has to shout commands out. You could use additional movement if you wished to from that command, but
I'll fly another 10 feet in the air.
okay.
That's it.
Okay. Arknight's turn. Arknight takes additional swings with his longsword. 2 attacks this time. And obviously it's not going to do it. I'm just going to roll from this because the interface is incorrect, but I've never seen D&D Beyond do this before, but
+2 to AC.
Yes, correct. Although the Arknight still, you're definitely hearing clashing of steel and wood and stuff, dealing additional damage to Gallus. But Jiri, it is your turn.
All right, Jiri is going to realize that his Super Soaker has done the most to this thing, and he's going to go back to that and aim it point blank range and just blast it.
Okay.
Hydro pump.
Are you aiming at it like the center of this thing's core?
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's like 30 gallons, so it's like a spray, so he's just like going everywhere with it.
Got it. I am going to make Telperion roll a dex save to see if he gets away from it. And then strength save from the spirit.
Yeah.
This fucking thing.
Still does resist it, so go ahead and roll. Oh, it does 30 gallons, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So again, takes 15 points of cold damage, and as you see just steam billowing off this creature, the flames like reducing, and for a moment you see like just barely flickers of flames, but like otherwise a translucent form of like a red dragon spirit before the flames slowly start like building again around its form, but definitely dealing damage.
15 dex save from
15, you get out of the way and are not blasted with water.
And then I'm gonna once again strike with my cloud arms.
Okay, perfect.
19 and
oh yeah, you do have advantage yet.
20.
Both hit. Roll damage. Magical bludgeoning damage that it does not resist.
Blunches.
For a grand total of 6 damage.
This thing keeps like bursting. The flames are flickering away from it and slowly congealing around it. This thing is looking really, really bad.
And Jerry is gonna say, "Okay, you can hit pretty hard. You can go back to hitting Telperion now."
Perfect. Telperion's turn.
Can I keep an eye on what's going on in the battle?
At this point, you can once again do a disadvantage perception check at the start of your turn, or if you want to overcome disadvantage, you do need to spend your action to do so.
No, I'll just do it at disadvantage.
Okay. Yep. Just glancing over there at the start of your turn.
9.
No, you still see that the Arcanite clearly is not wielding the beautiful sword he once was, but not seeing where that is.
Okay. I will say at this point, I am specifically looking for the sword because I made that connection from earlier. Okay, and I'll just swing an attack at this thing with my enchanted alien longsword.
Perfect.
18 plus 6, 24.
Definitely hits.
And that's a D8.
D8 and a D6.
And a D6. Okay. Okay, so 7 plus 6 is 13 damage with my longsword, and plus 6 lightning. What?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
13 total or 19 total?
No, 13 with my magic longsword and 6 with my lightning.
Okay, so 6 reduced to 3, so 15 total damage.
Oh, right.
16 total damage.
16. 13 plus 3.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was 12 plus 3. How do you want to do this?
I want to
schoolgirl.
I know. I swing down with the sword, and then I want when I hit the bottom of my swing, I want lightning to shoot up through it.
Perfect. You do so, you cleave this thing's form in half, and it's it separates from the impact, detonating as lightning kind of spirals throughout its form and kind of disperses out the top of it, and it just wisps away into flame. And as you slay this draconic spirit and its form loosens into flame that drifts up into the atmosphere, the flickering wall of fire around Gallus and the Arcanite also flickers away.
But it looks so cool.
Both of those.
God, I wish I could action search.
And all of you, with the flame disappearing in the situation, all of you see a grisly sight, accompanied by a terrible choking gasp.
Yeah.
Looking in their direction, your view clearing from the dispersing flames, you see the Arcanite and Gallus in a quiet, still, close embrace. A bright reflective gauntlet of the Arcanite tenderly grasps the side of Gallus's head, the other gauntlet pushing his longsword deep into the chest of Gallus Aran and out the other side of the back. Choking noises and blood spattering from Gallus's mouth indicate the severity of the wound. And as the Arcanite withdraws his blade, he carefully lays Gallus to the ground and stands.
Goodbye, Master. For good this time.
And turns to look at you all. Roulette, it is your turn.
I'm too shocked to even move. But luckily the familiar kind of acts on its own too. It's gonna drop 50 feet, land on Gallus's chest, and I'm gonna attempt to cast Cure Wounds through it. What this looks like, because I'm assuming I know what your reaction is going to be. What this looks like, it kind of, the bottom of it opens up and it just spits out one of my little Cure Wounds patches that
patches, perfect.
It just spits
Super
it out
cool.
onto the wound on Gallus's chest. And then it was 50 feet. Because it dashed, and then it has 10 more feet. So that I'm just gonna have it roll 5 feet away.
So it's dashing.
Yeah.
Then you're using your action to cure wounds and letting it use its reaction to administer that effect. So, okay.
Yes.
So the patch is applied. Go ahead and roll cure wounds.
Oh God, the music stopped.
Purposefully, possibly.
7.
Okay. You definitely saw your thing administer the patch. Is that it for your turn? Anything with a bonus action?
I mean, he's going to shoot a wand of magic missiles once at the guy's butt.
Okay, go for it.
Give me high numbers. 11.
11 damage. You see those all fly towards the Arc Knight, and with this a subtle turn of his head and the flicker of his arm, a shield pops around his form briefly, absorbing that damage from all of those missiles before that shield kind of fades back to nothingness.
That's all I got.
Toby Rama.
Fucking no, dude.
This is kind of awesome that it's your turn specifically.
As I begin full diving in towards the two of them, I'll do a spare the dying towards
As a bonus action.
Towards Gallus.
What do you usually do when you cast spare the dying?
I think I have text for it. I'm not even saying what I normally am. I'm screaming. There's no words, but the effect still happens.
You feel the kind of divine magic leave your hands. Unsure if that makes a connection or not.
And you're in the air.
I flew 30 feet. I was 30 feet in it, so I'm like hovering a little bit.
His spare the dying does allow it to be cast from range, but anything with your action?
I want to cast command and say stand and cast it on Gallus.
He does not respond.
That's everything.
It is Gallus's turn, who lays there gurgling his own blood. It is the Arc Knight's turn, who regards all of you.
You wish to avenge a fool, and you are in my way. Do not mourn his death. He would have only disappointed you.
And with a teleport, he bounces around to each of you and makes a strike at all four of you with 4 attacks with his longsword.
I've heard the legend of Kai Kalani can do this.
Except my fucking thing needs to get reloaded again. Really frustrating. Again, this is altered because doesn't have his special greatsword in his hand, but I am still going to just roll it. This is at Toby. This is at Jiri. This is at Telperion. This is at Roulette.
So
Toby hits. I think all of them hit.
Yeah.
Are they all -5?
Yeah, that's true. They are all -5. Or actually, in this case, they're all -2 only to hit.
Oh.
So a 30, a 20, a 28, and a 25. I think that hits all of you guys.
Yeah, it hits me for 15.
I was rolling concentration checks because I forgot to do those.
He also does have disadvantage against you, Jiri.
No.
Oh, because the thing hit you before. Okay.
And and I just failed that second one.
Got it. The damage here is not as severe as it looks like because the enhanced greatsword that I just rolled is way more powerful than his longsword. So you guys are all taking less damage than it shows here, but it looks like he does hit you all. So for Toby Rama, that is 12 points of damage. For Jiri, that is, I said 12 to you, Toby, right? It's -7. 13 to Jiri. 8 to Telperion, and 16 to Roulette.
Roulette falls.
I'll shield her.
Roulette looks like she's about to fall.
Okay, perfect. So you shield her. Do you want to go ahead and roll that real quick?
You get save 6.
Thank you.
Perfect. As soon as he hits each of you and like looms confidently over all of you, you hear from the forest to the south of you all an enormously loud growl that sounds like some enormous creature just ring out in the night sky around you.
Impossible. Why would he be here now? Fine. You all may live to see another day, unless my legion below manages to find you.
He looks northward past you all, overlooking the town of For's Hollow, now swarmed with figures that have pushed into the gates, fire beginning to decorate the landscape. With the flick of the Arc Knight's wrist, the great sword embedded into the earth blinks back into his hand, magically transported to his gauntlet. And with an arcane phrase,
Pro cool Dejukan.
runes on his helmet pulse, and he disappears in a flash of light. You guys are all left alone in this space.
A psionic pulse to heal.
I throw
Okay.
a last healing word at Roulette, which I'll roll.
Oh,
Actually, I don't psionic.
thank you.
5.
I'll take it.
And Toby starts methodically going around Gallus's body.
I'm gonna run over, join you, and I haven't psionic pulsed.
Okay. What are you guys doing as you guys are huddling around Gallus? His eyes seem to still be open, if barely, but blood is just starting to pour out of his mouth.
And I felt my spare the dying.
You weren't sure if it made connection or not, but he's literally still conscious right now, but you felt your magic not take effect. You get the sense, you get the sense this is a grievous wound that can't be healed. He has functionally, mechanically, he's passed his 3 death saves. He is about to be gone for this world.
I am going to try something, knowing that anyway. Instead of trying to use my psionic pulse on myself, I want to put my hand on the front and back of his body and just kind of hold him, and then try to give him the energy that I usually reserve for myself, stemming from his own mind, to see if I can help his own mind piece himself together.
Make an intelligence check for me with disadvantage.
4. I rolled a 2.
You take 1 point of psychic damage, but you do lose, if available, another psionic dice.
I had no more available anyway.
Okay, so you just
Should I
take
lose
1
my
point
second window?
Yes, you do lose that because that's what you're trying to expend his way almost. Yeah, so you do lose that. He as you're kind of stabilizing him, Gallus's hand barely moves, trying to push off your hand from him, Telperion.
Let him shoot my hand off.
Come on, we gotta get up. We gotta get into the forest.
So, remember what we talked about. He puts his hand very weakly up to your face, Toby Rama specifically, and holds it. It was my honor to meet you all. I'm better for having known you. Nadia, His hand falls from your face. You see the pupils of Gallus's eyes relax. His facial muscles slacken. You feel his body fall limp in your arms. Even against the backdrop of commotion in town below as the Durastine soldiers move through the town square and the flickering flames kind of subtly catching on grass around you. It seems silent up here. The grave form of Gallus, now dead in your embrace. Suddenly, a rustle in the trees to the south of the training grounds gives way to two figures. Hurriedly, a black, furred, cat-like humanoid runs up to you. Korik, this way! Another figure emerges. A winged, hawk-like individual, a humanoid hawk, carrying a staff with a dream catcher at the top. We saw fire on this hill. Are you all right? He sees Gallus on the ground. He looks to the hawk-like individual, graying. He looks like a hawk in every sense, but he has tattoos on his wings and arms. The dream catcher staff kind of glowing with the light energy, and he regards you all. Graying feather coloration. He seems very elderly, Aarakocra. Telpir, you realize very quickly this is an Aarakocra. He looks to all of you. Your people have been safely transported out of the city, I hope. Looks to all of you for a response. I need to speak with our other traveling companion. He will want to speak with you all, but Sora, please get them out of here at once, regarding the panther tabaxi to his right. Move with expediency and care for these friends of Gallus. They are, at least for the moment, honorary friends of Chimeras. Make way for Kirsan first. I will meet back up with you there as soon as I can. Friends of Gallus, I vow to you here and now, I will not leave this place without seeing to it that your friend is properly buried. But there is no time for you to delay for fear the approaching soldiers or that night shall find you again. Journey with Sora into our lands. We will regroup soon and discuss things further.
I won't.
Do any of you have the medallion?
Cool.
I won't leave him.
He looks at you carefully. Do any of you have the medallion?
I pat my chest pocket.
His memory will live in you. If he entrusted that to you, you are what's left of Gallus in this world. I will pay him the respect he deserves, and I will lay him to rest. Your lives can still go on. Journey with Sora and make your way into our lands. I'm sorry to pull you away from him. The Aarakocra flaps his wings and starts to rise, levitating off the ground a few minutes, and he waves his dream catcher staff in the air. Various beads in a very specific pattern that almost form a constellation light up in the dream catcher, and different tattoos on his wings glow. He waves at a nearby tree, and the wood creaks and splits, and he flies through it, disappearing into the tree. The panther like tabaxi says, "This way, hurry. We must make quickly."
I grab Gallus's axe and I hand it to Toby, and I give him like a little hug, and I say, "Come on, he's with us."
I take off one of my rings. It's just a gold ring. I take it off my finger and I place it on Gallus's right pinky. I stand and I'm holding gingerly with two hands the axe. I stand and begin to turn.
Sora, the panther-like tabaxi woman, starts to make her way back toward the woods, making sure all of you are following. And if you do follow her guidance, she will rush into the forest with you at her side, escorting you all southward into the dark midnight Emerald forest. And that's where we're going to end things today.
For sure. Fuck you. Dang. Dead. Dead. Good job, MK.
Very good job, MK.
On the
Very
role
good
play.
job, MK.
Oh, God.